Hope is a coach, right? He's coming in. He has played professionally before, but his mechanics are going to be rusty. He's definitely not going to be super slick. So it makes sense to me to chuck him on Xin, who's really easy. Everyone can play Xin Zhao. And then he had the knowledge. I mean, maybe it was called by another member of the team, but I imagine it was him to go, it's an Elise going for her red buff. I'm a Xin Zhao with Hail of Blades. I'm just going to invade her. And then, even worse, the mistake was made to try and fight him. And then he basically won the game.
Yeah, he stole red buff. He got the kill. Elise was out of the game, useless, very, very useless. And then he also continued the was not like the game ended for him. He had a very solid game. I think we gave him MVP for the game as well. So yeah, he was just looking great all around. The Zek game, not so much. As I said before, it was a little bit difficult to play for him to play. The Zek just died a lot on the front line. He still had a solid game, so wouldn't mind to see the Zek again. I think today against Son, it's very risky though. Son, known for his pathing, known for his mechanics as well, so it might just be able to abuse Hope in the jungle matchup if Hope doesn't go for the early game skirmish jungler that is, for example, Xin Zhao, right?
Absolutely.
So
Son is hard to play.
I'd like to see him back. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Son is a very good jungler. Yeah. He hit off, he hit the ground running at the start of the season, right? He looked like the best jungler in the league with all his J4 games. Then 10.3 hit, and he didn't really find his jungler to play or his jungle champs to play.
Which was weird.
We expected him to go for more pathing junglers, more farm junglers, maybe an AP Shyvana here and there, maybe a Graves. But he didn't go for those. He went full on ganking junglers all the time. That didn't really work out for his team too well. But he was also coming off at 0-2.
Yeah, into picking bands though, so we'll have to see what comes out this time. Don't know why we're seeing incorrect Maokai stats on the screen. Just a little bit of a production error, but you can all have a look at Maokai's face, as it is Lucian, Gragas, and Set and Zaya removed so far. See what else gets taken out.
Sorry, muted myself there. Not very smart. So, it's on once again. We might see Adonis go back to on, though, because Django has played some on games, especially together with Hope. PhD not much of the on player, so it's much more likely to see the on in the top lane. And on the other side, TH, of course, is our resident Vladimir.
Yeah, he is that Vladimir one trick.
We have 8 Vladimir games on the whole season, and 7 of those are on TH. So yeah, he's basically all of Vladimir's stats. Yeah. 1 Vladimir game over to Hasmet, who also liked to play Vladimir a lot last season. Let's see what they want to go for this first pick. Aphelios is not open, Syndra. But Senna is there.
Senna was available, but they've gone for the Syndra. Very interesting decision, and there's a Kalista being hovered. Now we have seen solo lane Kalista, both solo lanes. Didn't work out in the mid lane.
First ever mid lane Kalista.
Yeah, that was not good.
It wasn't.
I can't imagine VGA coming in and playing top lane Kalista. It'd be very bold.
I mean, why not? Django is more of a carry player. I could see it happening. I hope, though, potentially going to jungle Pantheon. That's another champ that doesn't really require too much, right? You just mash your buttons, point and click stun. Very easy to execute. So I'd really like to see the Pantheon jungle here as well. Another early game, another very strong skirmishing jungler as well.
And there is a Thresh pickup. Thresh has looked like probably the best support in the VCS. Not necessarily all around the world, but in the VCS it's been absolutely ridiculous. And Mordekaiser picked up here. That's so risky when you don't know where that Kalista is going.
Yeah, indeed. Mordekaiser will get murdered by Kalista. It's not even funny. They might be from the same origin, but Kalista will not care about that. So, oh man, that is such a weird pick. I hate Mordekaiser right now in pro play. I think he's almost almost always useless. So 52% win rate, I guess, is still there. He's not bad on lane, and he's kind of there. It's not like Mordekaiser is like an active detriment to his team, but he also doesn't really provide anything. And Hero should look for better chance for himself.
I think
he was known for his mechanics last season, so it's a
Mordekaiser
little bit
blanks
disappointing.
top lane a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, he sometimes just makes it so top lane doesn't completely exist, which can be good, particularly if you have a bit of a weaker top lane. I don't necessarily think that's, in fact, not even necessarily, that's not the case in this game. Hero is one of the carries for EVOS. Nautilus and Rek'Sai being removed.
There's another big counter pick that is kind of looming around as well. Django has played her 2 times, and she is way better this patch as Fiora, of course. Fiora already destroys Mordekaiser most of the time, so now with the new buffs, Fiora should really wipe the floor with him. So I'd like to see Django back on Fiora. This Kalista top lane might be a cool experiment, but I think Fiora is also open. Very good spot to pick her here. You also have already picked up a little bit of AoE magic damage for potentially a mid laner, PHT on Rumble, so you don't really run into trouble if you go for top lane AD. So I'd like to see the Fiora on this patch. Maybe you have to wait to Yoshino tomorrow to see Fiora.
Hello. So this is Kalista Taric.
Bot lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mordekaiser is spared a horrible fate, but he probably has to go into a Pantheon, which is still not fun.
It's still potential Fiora here. Last pick. So, wow, Taric sits on 0% win rate. Only played twice, though, so it's not the biggest sample. Taric has been very successful now, especially in EU. Mad Lions like to play Taric a lot with Kaiser on the Taric there. We haven't seen too much Taric. I think Palette has played him once. So VCS is a little bit slow on the Taric take, and we also get a Trundle here. That is another super interesting pick. No tank on the other side. Exactly. So this Trundle,
super weird.
Surprising.
Super weird to pick this Trundle. Trundle's a counter pick, right? Generally speaking. What? Oh, okay. It's Ezreal Taric and Kalista top.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
The bait and switch.
All right. I hope that's going top at least. Don't make the same mistake.
Yeah, it's going top. It's PHT, but it's going. Yeah. PHT always plays the ADCs.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's played Vayne before. He's played Lush, Tristana, I think, too. So he is the ADC player in the solo lane. But I think he'll go top. He also is running the ETP, so it's very likely. Just that we see him top lane.
Yeah. I definitely think it'll be PHT top.
This is another super interesting team composition. Wow. I'm very surprised by the Trundle pick. I'm not sure why you would try to pick Trundle here. No tank to steal stats from, really. Even Taric doesn't really build too many tank items, as opposed to other tanky supports who go for Stoneplate. And Stoneplate can give you a lot of resistance in teamfights, of course. But Taric really doesn't go for Stoneplate. The tankiest item he builds is potentially a Zeke's, or sometimes you go for Night's Woe, but you want to go for a few healing items as well. So, yeah, I'm thrown off by this Trundle pick. Of course, Trundle can still be an effective.
He could go. He could go the called the yellow thingy. In the jungle, the attack speed one.
No one ever goes for the attack speed
one. But
he
could. Like, it's actually quite legit, because you could just blow people up. Raise or something? Someone in chat help me. The yellow jungle enchant. Yeah. The one that no one buys.
It's pretty stat inefficient. That's why no one goes for it.
Bloodrazor. Thank you,
one
chat.
Of the champs. Bloodrazor. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Trundle definitely is one of the champs that could go for it. I don't really expect it. I think most Trundles just go tank route anyway and rely on the base damages, which is fair, because the damage the champ has a lot of base damage. Especially if you go for... let's wait for his rune choice. If he goes for PTA...
It's a lot of...
or even Hail of Blades. There's a lot
Hail
of
of Blades is aggressive.
Hail of Blades is...
That's very aggressive on the troll.
I would like to see
it. Would be hilarious. I mean, we have seen Hail of Blades poppy that is apparently meta for
Yeah.
Jungle Poppy. And hello, top lane. This is what it's going to be the whole laning phase.
Yeah. TH also going with fleet footwork. And if you have to adapt your rune choice on the Mordekaiser, you already regret picking him. Because Mordekaiser without Conqueror is only half a Mordekaiser, honestly.
This was a really bad pick. I think you had to wait until you knew where the Callista was going. And I mean, to be fair, they wouldn't have had any chance to do that because Ezreal was a super out of left field pick. I mean, we both thought it was going to be the Callista Taric bot lane, but that was a smart fake out by VGA because I think EVOS would have thought it was Callista Taric. But it wasn't even Taric wasn't picked when Mordekaiser was picked. I think this shows that Hero really, really struggling for champion pool. He can only play Mordekaiser and Vlad.
It seems like it. So to talk a little bit about the standings, as you can see, Green VGA is 2 and 7 right now. Evo is 4 and 5. So VGA is coming in as the big underdog, but it's still VGA has to be super annoying to play against because they also always come up with cool draft adaptations with interesting cheese picks, and they don't really have anything to play for, right? They can go super aggressive. It doesn't really matter for them. I mean, if they win every single game, suddenly they get back into playoff contention, but it's still very far away. So right now they don't really have anything to lose, and that's always dangerous, especially if they surge a little bit. And they won against the Cerberus, so the direct competitor to EVOS. EVOS has to be careful today to not lose another series and fall behind.
And we could see a repeat of Team Secret strategy here, sending a Pantheon Callista to gank in the top lane, and Mordekaiser can't do anything about this. He's dead. He gets hit by the stun. Hope is just going to put up the shield. And PHT doesn't even take a tower shot. He's just gonski.
Yeah, Mordekaiser picks. Well, that was a very easy dive to set up. I think you should have probably seen that coming. Maybe the jungler should have rotated top to prevent this from happening. Because that's the page number 1.
They can repeat
playbook for top lane Callista. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Hope is a little low on HP, but he has Smite, so he could actually get back up almost full HP.
Yeah. Hook goes wide in the bot lane. We do have the Lovers bot lane, the real Lovers bot lane. But Zyra can't get out. It's Ezreal Taric.
Yeah, of course. Also way older than Zyra Khan, to be honest.
We've been making that joke since like season 2.
What?
Look at the damage. It's just bonkers, right? I was waiting for you to react to it because I think I'm a little bit ahead of you. I just didn't say anything. I wanted you to see it. And a stun is landing, but Sorn waiting in the wings. VGA very smart to not go aggressive, as I don't think Trundle's going to be able to get anything done down here. There's an arcane shift. The pole comes out. Very smart by never mind. Uses the flash. Not sure where the E was.
No mana, maybe?
Maybe.
It's very early in the game. This mana bar might actually...
And Hope takes too much damage. That'll stop the dive.
Yeah. So you might want to pause like 1 or 2 seconds so we're back in sync, because I can't seem to be...
No?
I can't seem to get...
PHT. Oh my god, that spear did so much damage.
So that's an interaction I've seen a lot of times. Of course, it's basic Callista mechanics where you Q E at the same time. So you basically use the E and throw your Q, and Q applies the rend stack as well, right? So you immediately have Q and E damage at the same time. That also happened. Yeah, it hurts a lot because you can double rend. PHT did double rend once already on TH. That surprised me so much. There was so much damage, but it seems like you can actually double rend if you do it really correctly.
Yeah, you have to kill
or at least double apply the rend damage.
Kill the minion.
Yeah.
This is brutal in the top lane.
This is such a horrible
match. Observers, if you can hear me through, I don't know, the celestial time and space, Can you not show top lane? Because we don't have our channel flagged for mature content, and we might get banned on Twitch. It's a little bit bad.
Hope is
Hope is here. It's looking like he's almost setting up to just flash over the wall to dodge the vision.
Yeah.
But nope, they waited for the E. There's no push away. The teleports are called in, but I think it's going to be too late as here comes the flamethrower. Django flashing away now. He's actually pretty alone. He's in the 1v1 against Parquet, but he'll be able to get to the blast cone. And it should be a free, just a free kill on Hero. He got away. He's okay.
Yep.
And it's just a free kill on Hero once again. And Hero, I hope you don't like colors too much, because
yeah, this is a great game.
Ooh, they're gonna go forward onto Parquet here, but I think he is okay. Just zoned him off, get a lot of tower damage.
Yeah, Park without his ult available doesn't really pose a big threat to Django, so he can play very aggressive. I think the teleport was a little bit too much, but in the end, it doesn't really cost them anything because the enemy mid laner teleported there as well. They could have just gotten out freely with a dive and force a teleport advantage in mid lane, but that's a dangerous call to make, of course. But now no teleport to defend the bot lane dive. See if we can survive.
Yep, Vit very low, does go down, and the lantern saves the man's life. And Django forces a flash, so it's a consolation prize. Participation award is awarded. But it's still a kill back. It's only a 500 gold lead here for VGA, which is entirely in the top lane.
That's actually a good summary for Django's whole split so far.
Consolation prize.
Participation award.
Participation award. Yeah. Poor Django.
He's there. He's not bad. He's
and Hope is back in the top lane, but he can't get in range for the stun.
Oh, man. Stop.
That one wasn't particularly effective. I think you can just keep diving. No. What's going to stop you diving? Let's have a look at this.
Kalista still hasn't used a spear. That's very interesting.
That was.
So let's look at this again. Xin actually delays this one a lot, and another summoner, 2 summoners invested for this because he kind of had to flash away there from the stun for Xin. So Xin played this as good as he could, not quite enough to keep his ADC alive.
Fix the stream quality.
Heal was invested as well.
Like it's dropped. I'll do it after this gank though, as Rumble is going to go down. That was a horrible equalizer, except maybe he was just trying to get the wave as he died.
Yeah. He wanted to just clear the wave, so no turret platings. Good call for Django. Good, just a very heads up call to not lose more than he had to. I think he had to give up his life there. Not a lot he could do. Look at the CS lead.
Yeah, but I mean, look, it's only a 200 gold lead, and I can guarantee PHT is more than 200 gold ahead.
Yeah, PHT is ahead by like 500-600 at least.
Minimum.
Maybe even, it should be more.
Look at the items.
It should almost be a 1K
Look at the items. It's a Dirk and a Vamp scepter to boots and a cloth armor and a refillable pot. Ooh.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
And
Hope
of course, he still has a
spear.
How's it called? Oathsworth is
Oathsworn is the buff, and it's the black spear. Yeah. I know that.
You are really on top of your name.
Well, you know why I know that one? Because it's a really strong card in Legends of Runeterra.
Okay.
If an allied minion has died this turn, deal 3 damage to an enemy. It's very strong. For 2 mana. Feel good. Shadow Isles is really strong.
I have no idea what this
is. I know you don't know anything, but people in chat will know. Legends of Runeterra. It's a lot of fun, even if Shadow Isles is a little bit strong.
Oh, and there's the biggest spear for her, at least in this game.
Yep.
Of course, it's the Sanguine Blade. Why is it called Blade?
Because it's a dagger. Yes, it is.
Is it? It is a dagger.
It's a dagger.
It looks like
a dagger.
Looks like a spear to me. Okay, fair enough.
You can see the hilt. As PHT comes over the wall, DivKid does get to the lantern, but here's big bad PHT. He's going for the 1v3, but now his team's arrived.
This is
and Hope coming in. Yeah. And they will get the kill and pretty much secure the Herald off the back of PHT's strength. No, that's wasted some time. That's not ideal.
Feels bad, man. All the spears are still there, though. So we might see a really big.
What's the cap? Is it 3,000 now? It's got a cap. It's not unlimited anymore.
No, it's not unlimited. I think it got like the damage got halved. I didn't.
Is it
actually
still
know
unlimited?
if there's.
I'm not sure.
I think it's a soft cap basically, where you can't actually get to a big number because the HP bar neutral objectives are just not big enough.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if there's an actual number.
According to Google, there's no cap. There we go.
Yeah, it's just a soft cap because you basically deal half damage to big objectives. Yeah. So can't ever. It's very rare nowadays that Callista's outsmite smite.
It's more
can happen.
I mean, I think Callista, in terms of helping with smite, it's more coordinating with your jungler because you're pretty much unbeatable like if you Calista.
Yeah, that's true. Beforehand, it was like Calista. It was Calista secure the Baron at like 3k HP. That's not the case. That never happened.
I still want to.
I guess you could force it. Like Vendril could go for a 3k rend still if you always reset the Baron HP.
Yeah, okay.
Then you can actually go.
You can do a lot of dumb things in League if you're not trying to win. And TH, this is so sad. He took two tower shots and won the trade.
And the sad thing is, he can't even outscale on team fights.
He's just going under the tower into the death realm. This is way too over aggressive, PHT. That was dumb.
He had flash. I mean, he could have flashed away there from the turret.
I don't think it mattered. He was in the death realm and he was very low. That was ill-advised.
Yeah, very, very ill-advised.
Here we go. Hope does have the Cosmic Radiance. Also had the E to buy time for it to land. B comes out of stopwatch, but he won't go down. Zin will. No, he finally goes down. TH has arrived. And this is looking really bad for VGA. Django trying to get the flamethrower cooking and will cook himself up a nice lunch. PHT arrives and he's going absolutely hog wild, but it's not going particularly effectively. And down he goes. All 5 members of VGA are dead, and they've pissed away their lead.
Yeah, I really did. Wow, he flashed forward to get one more spear in. That was... Well, PhD is not playing this Callista particularly phase. And now there suddenly is a lead for EVO, especially in bot side, of course. So let's look at this again. It starts off with a bullet time. Looks like VGA immediately loses this fight, but of course Cosmic Radiance prolongs it. The Hope doesn't actually use the Cosmic Radiance to do anything. He was
walking in circles.
Way more damage. Yeah. Hope just was very tunnel visioned on waiting for his cooldown to enable his team again, but he should have utilized the stack damage from Conqueror, which he really didn't do. So.
I mean, I hate something to point out there is part of the reason that fight went so badly is because of PHT's play under top tower. His teleport was so late because he'd only just respawned.
Also, TH still had some extra stats from the very fed PHT. So it doesn't matter too much, but it
10% of a fed Callista's stats. I'll take it.
It's not bad. Not bad. Now there's actually bounty on TH.
This is very silly from VGA. I don't know how they've lost this lead. TH now is back in the game. Well, I mean, maybe not. He's still 70 CS down. He still can't 1v1 this Callista. And PHT needs to just sit in a side lane. Under turret, absolutely. I mean, Hope is a coach. He needs to sit there and say, PHT, if you do that again, you're done. You're out.
You're benched. We have another top laner. We don't need you.
Yeah, I mean, he is a mid laner, technically.
Where is Chip?
Yeah, where is Chip?
They still have Chip.
What happened? Did he go with Y1? Maybe they both went to military.
I think so. Never seen again.
Yeah. We need to get.
I actually like this configuration of VGA.
Yeah, I think being able to swap out Chip and Django is actually pretty strong, but I don't mind it.
So Django is actually the only player that is still looking at a pretty strong start here. Seems to be rushing Morelos, which is a little bit questionable. But yeah, he has a little bit of penetration already built up. Equalize so still needs a little bit of experience to really like shape fights around the mid game.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my stream is frozen.
Yeah, same
Okay.
here, same here.
If it's for both of us, it means it's on the Vietnamese end. That's unfortunate.
So what will happen for the next 5 minutes? Because as we know, we won't get to 6 minutes. So let's look at the situation and evaluate what might happen here. We have EVOS will probably not do a whole lot for the next 2 minutes and wait for the next dragon. They are only 2 away from the soul, of course. Oh, there we are. We're back in game. Nice. We only missed like 1 minute.
Okay. Oh, mine is not quite back in game. So, oh, there we go. Never mind. Here we are with EVOS pushing in the mid lane. And I mean, a comment I wanted to make before we had that little crash from the Vietnamese stream is that we could kind of see that things were going wrong for VGA, even while they kind of looked like they were going right, because PHT probably had about 1,000 gold lead, and they were only 200 gold ahead, which means they've bled 800
the other lanes
somewhere.
were struggling. Yeah, if you look at mid lane, it's the 60 CS lead. Lane is something around 15, now 10, with Ezreal catching up a little bit, but yeah. It's not a great situation for VGA to be in. It's a 2k gold lead with Kalista top lane. Actually, a 2k gold lead for the Kalista top lane is more like a 2k gold deficit. Now it's a 2k deficit with the Kalista top, so it's more like a 6k deficit. You really can't teamfight right now as VGA. It's they have Taric, one of the strongest teamfighting champs in the game, but they still, with only Sanguine Blade on Kalista, it's not really feasible to go for a fight. He's actually a level down on TH right now. That is absolutely absurd.
Absolutely. It's I don't know how this has happened. This has got to be one of the biggest lane throws / comebacks I've ever seen. This lane should have been completely over. And to be fair, only person PHT has to blame is himself. He did some dumb shit.
He did. That dive was so unnecessary. It didn't only turn this lane around, it also kind of turned the game around. Teleport for Team ETH, shaping the fight around Dragon number 2. Now we're at Dragon number 3, another big fight.
Absolutely.
Park is far away.
This is the Dragon going very low, though, and oh no, don't do it again, Vietnam.
Yeah. Hope was
there we
go.
go.
So no Hope was securing that.
Absolutely. We're a little bit behind you because there was a minor freeze as a lot of damage being dealt to VGA. Django flashing over the wall, Hope following, but they're still just burning down to Mordekaiser and MF. And VGA, it looks so hopeless. Zin will be the next to fall. Hope manages to limp away, and it's Div Kid picking up a triple kill. Oh, no, oh no.
Yeah, I think, this is, it seems like VCS teams have really want to make the Kalista top work, but so far we haven't seen a consistent performance. 3 solo lane Kalista games, all 3 were losses. So yeah, I mean, I'm already counting this one because when Pantheon gets murdered by the 8 and 2 MF on
Pantheon
one item, the game is pretty much over.
Yep, Pantheon's dead, and yeah, a bit tragic. And PHT's going to go to try and kill Div Kid. He doesn't do damage. Django's here. Maybe they can get the burners going and kill Div Kid, but nope, they can't even get that. PHT doing his best bunny impression, though. He dodged every orb. Maybe this can be turned. PHT is life-stealing. Django's very low. He finally goes down. But here comes the Troll King, picking up a double kill and locking in another exchange for EVOS Gaming.
Well, yeah, that happened. DivKid didn't have any
Hope
items.
is here. They're going to try and go in, but Parquet is just completely, get down, Mr. President, as the rest of the team keeps Parquet alive. And it's just grand infall.
Yeah. Hope honestly rage quit this game. So VGA, because VGA is very hopeless here. So it's a little bit unfortunate that their player is called Hope in this game. So it doesn't really fit the outlook of the game.
I can think of two letters he could add to his name to make it accurate. An N and an O.
And no hope.
hope.
Yeah. No hope would be correct. It's not on him though. This game really him. So
It's not on him.
yeah, we need to see improvement in the mid game. There's a good chance we see more top lane Kalista tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a very good chance of that.
Yoshino. I actually think that this might shape a lot of the top lane meta for the stronger VCS teams, with a red side counterpick, Kalista, Fiora being super strong solo lane champs right now. I'm already getting very excited for that matchup. Zeros against Yoshino tomorrow.
That could
very
be
probable.
so spicy. We'd love to see it.
And even Yoshino against Kiaya is still a super good matchup, of course.
Yeah, well, totally.
Well, there's really not too much to comment on anymore. This is, Son just tanking everything, just standing there. He has a stone plate. He's working on an item. I'm not actually sure what item.
I'm not
he has
sure
two
either.
different.
He's got a lot of components.
These two don't combine into anything. Maybe he wants to create a new item. It would actually be cool to have an item consisting of these two.
Cool.
Could be like. Yeah, so he might look into Renderings actually has absolutely no value in this.
Zero value.
Yeah, but Renderings is quite good into Kalista, of course, because he can slow her down. And a slowed Kalista is also an attack speed slowed Kalista because of her passive. So we see a lot of Renderings into Kalista, even though the passive of that defines the item and makes it unique as a tank item is designed to be anti-crit. And Kalista doesn't really build crit.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a weird interaction there. Renderings has risen to priority in LPL a lot.
I still think the fact that Kalista gets her attack speed slowed by slows is silly.
It's dumb.
Yeah,
it is.
It should shorten her hop.
Yeah,
that's what it should do.
I think so too.
That's essentially a slow. Right? It makes you move.
Kalista has a lot of super weird interactions, as with if you have more than 1.5 attack speed or 1.53 or something. I don't quite know the number, but something around 1.5. It doesn't actually matter too much if you build more attack speed because you can't attack faster than 1.5.
Your animation's too slow.
You have to stand still to attack faster, which is something that the Shy actually did a lot in this game in LPL, where he played top lane Kalista and built a lot of attack speed. And when with Hail of Blades, he was at like 2 or 2.3 attack speed. So when he started the fight, he actually stood still for a few attacks because he knew that the Kalista can't actually attack at 2.3 seconds if you hop constantly.
Yeah,
it's a weird champ. It really doesn't work too well with the engine, I'd say. It's very cool to watch. There's a lot of outplay potential.
Absolutely. The Kalista is a super cool champion, but I just don't think we've seen the top end of the VCS play it yet. We've seen some weak laners play it, and PHT is definitely doing the same. So
yeah, PHT had a very good laning phase. We saw especially by jungler that can dive early on. It looked absolutely hopeless for the enemy team, but then PHT just with too many mistakes, with too many over-aggressive approaches to the Mordekaiser, you should always. I mean, he's not a top laner, right? So maybe he got caught out by the fact that Mordekaiser can just disable your turret dive, I'd say, because of course he death roamed him right when PHT started the turret dive. So maybe PHT was just not used to playing against Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
And that's not really.
It's not really good enough though.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go the top lane, you need to know how to play against Mordekaiser.
Indeed.
And as Kalista, you should absolutely stomp him, particularly when your jungler comes top twice, or actually came more than that, but successfully twice, and gets kills. This should have been a game that PHT sat in the side lane and said, none of you can challenge me, I'm just going to win the game. But no, EVOS is pushing towards the Nexus. Not sure if they'll be able to finish it here, but they have 2 inhibs. They could just wait for another wave and continue poking. Could be a 25-minute victory, or they might back off and take it a little bit more carefully.
Fate's call. he bound the other ADC. That's super interesting. But sadly,
keep Ezreal safe.
Ezreal just jumped back in.
Not keep Ezreal safe. That's the wrong. Definitely the wrong.
Ezreal didn't keep
Ezreal
safe.
Ezreal did not keep safe. Keep MF safe. As Janko flashing away from his base to try and save his KD. Didn't work out. Hope in a lot of trouble. And this is VGA with one of the biggest early game throws we've ever seen. Losing at 26 minutes to EVOS. Putting EVOS up 1-0. Wowie zowie.
That was another kind of troll.
What is going on?
Games. A new patch, a new meta. Maybe a little bit too much experimentation. I of course love the Kalista top. Maybe not if you're not familiar with the matchups. If you're not familiar with the lane, maybe tune it back a little bit and pick something a little bit more easier to execute, because it's really the difference between Kalista able to 4v1 situations, the Kalista that's forced to team fight with first item Sanguine Blade.
I mean,
is very stark.
The thing is, you could just not build the Sanguine Blade. You're going to team fight.
I would like to see this.
To be fair, if you're going to team fight, don't pick Kalista top. But if you get into game and realize, ooh, this is one of those times where I might have to, even though I don't want to, just don't build Sanguine Blade.
And to be fair, in this game, the Sanguine Blade was
yeah. But I mean, this game, PHT threw.
For that. Yeah, he threw big time.
Absolutely. We do have to award an MVP for this one.
It's another very hard
again, VGA looked pretty good around the board. I think Sorn really stood out.
Sorn didn't die. Divkid also
had some massive bullet times.
I think it's between the two. Both dominated team fights. I'm fine with either. Do you have someone a little bit more?
I think I'm leaning towards Divkid.
Yeah.
It wasn't super easy to play MF here, but
I think Sorn had a pretty easy game to play here. Well, Divkid still had to keep in mind that they are MF into Rumble is a little bit annoying to play, because Rumble can just drop Equalizer on the position you bullet time in. So yeah, I think Divkid performed at a very high level, turned around a lot of the fights, got all the kills, so he dealt the damage. It wasn't like a super outstanding hard carry performance, but he didn't need to do that.
I mean, I think all 5 members of EVOS played well. Even Hero, he bounced back super well from a disastrous early game.
I don't understand the pick for Hero, but he didn't really do.
Yeah, except also I don't think you should ban players. You should flame players for pick. Even though maybe in this case of Hero,
absolutely not.
In the case of Hero, maybe a little bit. Like maybe show a third champion, then I'll stop flaming you.
Yeah, that's fair. For his champion pool, we can definitely. I don't think we can flame him for his champion pick in this particular game. He could have also gone with Vladimir.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the early Mordekaiser at all. It's what is it going to accomplish on a blue side? Mordekaiser opens up so many opportunities, especially on this patch where Fiora is super strong, where you can play top lane Kalista.
Bill is super strong.
Doesn't really make a lot of sense.
It's not a great time to do that, but they weren't punished for it. Luckily for them, PHT decided he didn't want to win. So we will be going to a little bit of a break to see if EVOS can close this out 2-0, or if VGA can fight back and take us to a game 3. We'll see you guys in just a little while. Don't go anywhere. Don't change your dials. We'll be back in just a minute. See you in a bit.
Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. We're here for potentially the last game of the season. No, not the season, the day, of course.
You've got to stop doing this, my man. I hadn't turned the music off yet. I was finishing a mouthful of water. Give me a break. But go ahead. You can finish off now.
So, yeah. Adonis, Spawn gets the fair. We were debating Spawn or Divkid. I think Divkid deserved it a little more this game, but Spawn also had a very solid Trundle game. We questioned his Trundle pick. It was a little strange. There was no real impetus to go for Trundle, no tank, no Sejuani, no big top lane tank either. He still performed greatly on the Trundle, and I always like to see more different picks for Thorn. I think he's best on champs where he can shine in the late game and shape team fights as well. He's one of the main carries here.
Yep.
And he was up to a great start with Parke back in the lineup. It's a little bit more normal. Do you think VGA can bounce back here and get another game victory?
I think it's rough. I don't think so.
Yeah.
They tried the Kalista top. It completely blew up in their face because PHT, I think he got cocky.
Yeah. He's not the greatest top laner, as you alluded to.
Check my Twitter. Or just the chat. But yeah, it was... I think he got very full of himself, and those are hard games to come back from, where you start out and you're like, oh yeah, I'm a pretty good player. Oh, smashing this dude. Yeah. I can dive him. Oh, I'm dead. Oh shit, I'm 1-4 and I've lost us the game.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a very, very tilting game to come back from. I think it would be good to see Adonis for once, please go back to playing PHT in the mid lane, maybe with even a mid lane champ. Ooh, that would be new.
Would be exciting. Let's find out as we are into champion select here. Maybe PHT will play a mid laner. Exciting.
Yeah, it's not super likely, but maybe at least mid lane, the better mid lane. Sana or Lucian even. He banned. Of PHT's tendencies, favorite champs. Basically, Adonis is playing 3 ADCs in their lineup. PHT, Vid, and Xin, all ADC players, it seems.
Yeah, it's a weird one. As Gragas removed this game, he was banned last game, so consistent. I think they are threatened by the Gragawo because PHT is a very good Yasuo.
Yeah. That is a very good point. Adonis has first pick this time. I'd like to see the On. They don't have to first pick the On. So far, Sundra banned this game, so I'm not actually sure what we can expect as a first pick. Olaf is open. He wasn't open in the first series. Set is still available as well. Aphelios is another one that comes to mind. And of course, Senna. So those are probably the champs we are looking at. I'd also like to see a Senna pick. Adonis has the weird bot lane setup that actually Xin could be the Senna player here.
Yeah.
Because he, of course, was the ADC player for Gam. He's also now the support, so you could actually just play Senna support, normal support. And that is hopefully not the first pick.
Hopefully not, as I've realized.
They're just cycling through.
I left a little gag on screen. Ignore that. No one saw that.
Need to go back and see what you did there.
I put a little no next to Hope's name. But I forgot to turn it off, so it was just next to Hero, which, I mean, isn't wrong. But not intentional. As Aphelios is the first pick, ignoring both Set and Ornn.
And Senna.
Will EVOS play the Senna?
Surprising. Hopefully. It's not really a diff kit champ, to be honest. Diff kit on the Senna. He has played Senna once only this split, so it's really not a big priority for you.
They really don't rate.
They will go back
to really don't rate the Set and the Ornn. I mean, again, both of those champions did cop a nerf this patch, so we don't really know how busted they are. I actually think Set in particular is way lower priority now.
Yeah, I also think Ornn specifically for this dropped a lot in priority because we have the shortest game timer. Most of the games, they get decided between like 10 and 20 minutes, and Ornn between 10 and 20 minutes is not super strong. He gets stronger now with level 13. So level 13 is definitely past 20 minutes most of the time. So it's better in slower leagues. I think Ornn will still be high priority tomorrow in LCS. and might still even be high priority in LEC later today.
Potentially.
But to me, it makes a lot of sense that VCS doesn't prioritize Leon, because we might have another Trundle game for EVOS here.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good. It's not bad on Nautilus if you steal Aftershock. You can make a very squishy Titan.
So in game, it might not be great to steal from J4, but it might actually force this J4 to go full aggro. So it's more of a draft thing than an in-game thing for the Trundle this time around, where you see the Trundle as J4 and no, you can't really go for tank, because in the jungle you never get tanky enough that you are still a tank after the resistance steal comes in from Trundle. So I think Hope now needs to go for a very aggressive build here to make this J4 work. So this Trundle already yielded some advantages for EVOS before even entering the Rift.
Yep. There is the set ban, finally, and Rumble taken out. So Orianna as well, a control mage being taken out. Maybe Parquet wants to play Cassiopeia. Or Trist. Yeah, Trist could definitely happen. See what this last ban is, and they banned the... Okay.
What?
Alrighty, Adonis.
Why?
So thanks everyone for tuning in to another night of VCS action. I'm out, so... No, I'm joking, of course. That is a very strange decision.
I mean, results-based analysis for Adonis. We must be OP, right?
That was...
that's a very strange ban.
That is pretty horrible. Azir will be the pick here for Parquet in that mid lane, going for a safe farming boy. And is PHT going to go to the... I don't think PHT can play mages.
It seems like it, right? He has played some mages before. Rice is his most played still. 5 games, Cassiopeia 3 games.
Sylas instead.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
I love watching Sylas. I think he's such an interesting champ to watch. We could see the Sylas Trundle interaction is so fun. We might actually see Sylas stealing stats from Trundle, who already used his ult on someone else of his team, so double steal.
Sylas becoming a large lad.
I want to see that so badly.
And Aatrox is the last pick, the laziest top lane pick in the world, but it is safe when it's
low range comp.
Yeah, they cannot siege at all. It's a bit risky.
A lot of Axe on the Jenga in the Vid basket this game.
And PHT, I think PHT needs to go well as well. Irelia is the last pick to go up against Aatrox.
This is one of TH's favorites from last season as well. He back to Aurelia quite a few times, I should say. So TH is really a little bit of a mini Hatmid right now. He plays a lot of similar champions, and it's not quite as dominant in lane, but he has quite a similar champion style as Hatmid. So Aurelia into Aatrox, usually first levels are hard to play for Aurelia. And the longer the game goes, the easier it gets, especially if he goes for another first item, Blade of the Rune King Aurelia here. I think he should be should have a very easy time to deal with Aatrox on the later stages of the game. As I can't talk anymore, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all right. Every now and then, we both lose control of our tongues. Don't worry. It's definitely not just you. And this is a brawl all the time comp for Adonis, I think. It has to be, right? They have got no range. They've just got to fight.
Yep. EVOS definitely has the easier to execute composition late scaling. This is only the second time all season that anyone has picked Azir. That is a very interesting and very surprising statistic, as Azir has been a stable pick in all the other leagues. He's not high priority mid lane, but a lot of people default back to Azir a lot of time. And Parquet, I think it's a safe pick for Parquet. It's probably a good call to put him on Azir, where even if you whiff the ult, you can still have impact. Not the same with Orianna, of course. Parquet, a little bit infamous for his Orianna ults right now. Yeah, one of the reasons he got benched last week was his absolute failure of Orianna play in the first few weeks.
Yep. Is very exciting. I don't know about this.
It's a very skirmish happy composition for VGA. Yeah. It's a lot of CC, a lot of damage on the top side, especially. We have 4 Conquerors on the side of VGA, so a skirmish heavy team composition. Not the biggest amount of bursts, actually very little amount of bursts. PhD can be bursty later on, but they really want to have 3v3 fights on the top side. They don't really want to opt into full 5-on-5 fights because their champs are bruisery, but not tanky enough to really go into 5, especially against the super strong backline for EVOS. So VJ needs to play a very scrappy game to win this one.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that might suit them because they often do end up being very scrappy, as Parquet is a little bit far forward here. He's a bit spooked by PHT. Of course, a very thematically appropriate matchup. Silas against an Emperor. See if he can take down the monarchy. As TH getting a good start here against Django. It's actually a pretty even trade as they keep going. And this is turning in the favor of Django when he gets that passive. But TH has a pot.
Once TH has his flawless duet again, he might look for a solo kill.
Potentially. Once he has that, particularly when he has level 2. If he hits level 2 first and just goes.
It's quite hard to hit level 2 first, though, because Aatrox, of course, can just kind of be a ranged champ in the early game, with Q going penetrating through the minion wave.
Sword is passing up there already. Hard. They're going to go for the kill. Pillar comes out. Can TH get close enough? I'd almost like to see him flash forward to hit the flawless duet. Hope's coming in behind. Teleport as well. This is going really badly for EVOS. The flawless duet misses. Django hits 2. This is an absolute disaster. The first kill happened. Sorn with a clever escape there, flashing over the curved wall. And EVOS, it's all gone wrong. They're in the bin.
Still has to find a way out of here.
Yeah, he's still got to go solid snake, but he will escape to the loving wings of Azir. That went horribly.
Level 1, by the way.
Yeah. PHT is not happy about having teleported in there.
No. He wanted to get the kill, and I think it would have been a good call to give him the kill for VGA. In the end, I think Jungler got the kill, which is really not great for them. Yeah, Hope 1-0 now.
At least the PhD got an assist.
Very interesting turn of events.
We might be okay in gold.
He did. It's only 100 gold, though. So he lost.
This went so... Like, TH, I think you need to flash forward. You need to flash for the flawless duet.
So TH had 2 potential plays here. He could... they just died in the backline there, but the 2 minions were super low, so he could have just used everything he had to clear the 2 minions and get his Q. And then you can E on the enemy and Q to back up. You still have your flash available as well. So I think that was the best play for TH. The call was to immediately engage, so he didn't want to go for the level up. I think there was a little bit of... Yeah, I think Sorn probably called for the gank to happen immediately, and TH was like, level 2, but I guess Sorn called, so I have to follow. A little bit unfortunate there that he didn't hit level 2 early on, because I think if he was level 2 there, that would have been a very easy kill.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just a little bit unfortunate about the experience, but at the same time, can you call it unfortunate? You should know how many minions it takes. It's not actually a mystery.
Yeah. Also, he did. There are 2 things that are quite. He did hit skill level E, not level E. He did skill E at level 1 to have better skirmishing power or straight up 1-1 power against Django, which we saw in action early on in the trade. But he could have just gone for Q to sustain through level 1. And if he had gone for Q, he would have been able to hit both minions immediately and reset off the minions into Django for the first kill. So, yeah, it really was quite unfortunate for TH there.
A little bit, yes. And, a bit of CC on Div Kid. Good hook there, but B very smartly stepped forward, knowing it would come out. Vit is too low to participate in the fight, and VGA call off the play. But it did get a summoner spell, so a little bit of an advantage, and probably not the best recall time. He gets the Warhammer, so it's okay.
Yeah. I have to say, support players today are super impressive. So many blocks on hooks and also on the so many great hooks. We've seen Nautilus Thresh all day, almost every game. So, wow, I'm very impressed with our support pool today, because usually supports are not quite the strongest position in the VCS.
Yeah, and it is just a bit of a trade of vision here in the river. Where the next point of pressure is, it is a much less bloody game than we're used to, but once again, VGA, despite getting first blood, has lost gold elsewhere, and it's in the mid lane. They're just not good enough early in the lanes. They get leads.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
THT had to go top lane, right? So he lost 2 waves. It's not really on him being bad in lane. This is really just all about the call. And they made the payoff, so in the end it's still all about the top lane play. So they had to sacrifice a few CS for PhD and also the level lead. So now Park in a very good dominate mid lane and just scale into the later stages. It's Azir. He needs some more time. Azir has a very interesting scaling curve where he hits a strong point in one item, but we might have a fight. So let's see. VJ approaching from 2 sides.
Yeah, they absolutely could. A lot of damage coming out of Zin, though, and PHT will start it off well. He's continuing it as well. Vic gets the second one. Hope with an getting Emperor's Divided, I should say, as Parquet will pick one up. But it's a win for VGA, and they will get the Mountain Drake.
Very good flanks for VGA, and Vit hit the absolute crucial Gravitum ult there to stun everyone to initiate the fight. Vit had a lot of AoE damage, immediately to the flamethrower as well. So great fight by Aphelios. Even the early game, Aphelios can be strong. So nicely done. And suddenly VGA off to a great early advantage, and securing the first dragon is always nice on top of that.
Absolutely. As I was just fixing an audio issue with apparently you were echoing. Figured out why.
Oh.
Actually, my fault. Don't blame Yulwei. My headphones were turned up too loud. So I just had to turn my noise gate up.
PHT. So Vit really, wow, look at this super crucial grab mode. Yeah, and then Crescendo is here as well. He actually got rid of the perfect play for Aphelios. A little bit of luck involved, of course, with the ammo stack, but he used Gravitum, then used one more Gravitum Q to get rid of the Gravitum gun and changed to Flamethrower Crescendo, so one of the strongest team fighting setups. Threw a turret down, but with another gank, Django in danger.
That he is. Django should be going down momentarily, but Aatrox heals a lot, so he gets over the wall. THT's still here. He goes in, gets the Kingslayer heal. TH trades one back, and boing goes the boys as Django and TH fly away from each other. And in the end, it's a 1-for-1 in the bounce house.
That was so fun. What happened there? Wow.
What happened there? I'm not sure. Hopefully we get a replay on that.
It had to play for Django, right? Yeah, I think back to Cone. If I saw that correctly. Maybe TH accidentally hit it. We need to see the replay. See that again. Yeah, Django stayed alive forever. And he actually got out with his life with a sliver of health and the 1-for-1 trade for VGA. TH invested as double flash invested for the top side, but let's look at this again. Django gets caught by Zorn Pillar here to knock him back towards TH. Flash engage from TH, and Django is out of the fight here. He can't do anything anymore. E over the wall. He is in vision, of course, and PH re-engages, uses his Kingslayer to get health back, still goes down to TH. Oh, I think it was TH that hit the blast cone. So, unfortunate situation there for him. He wanted... Yeah, I think it was just an A-click. Does A-click work on blast cones? I'm not actually sure, but yeah, I think it might have been an A-click situation where he wanted to just A-click on Django as soon as possible, forgot about the cone, and then he A-clicked the blast cone, and Django moved farther away than he ever wanted to be.
That he did, and I do apologize. We do apparently still have the double Yulwei. I'm just trying to fix it as the game goes on. I know what the issue is, but I'm trying to figure out how to fix it without making Yulwei too quiet. Oh no, Hope is very caught out, and the flag and drag denied. DivKid gets a free kill.
What did Hope do there?
Don't know.
Hello?
I'm not sure.
It was a very aggressive invade. They have a little bit of visual brush. He doesn't have a ward in, so a little bit ill-advised to go for this deep an invade, especially with his bot still crashing the wave, so the bottom was still busy, couldn't follow up. A very easy kill over to Divkit. 20 CS lead for the Irelia on the top lane, so looking strong for EVOS as well. Right now, EVOS in a very comfortable position, even though there's one kill down. All the lanes look great, and TH is setting up a freeze.
Indeed he is. Sorry, yeah. I'm still fixing the audio issues. Apologies for leaving you hanging just a little bit.
No, that's fine. I thought so. So, should I just talk while you try to figure out?
Yeah, you got it. I've just got myself muted. So.
Okay. So here we go. It's a little bit of a quieter. We don't actually play by play, although we all already miss Everyday's beautiful voice, of course. So VGA is going for the next objective, which should be free. EVOS is too far away to contest this one, so VGA might be able to snowball this into a few turret plates in the mid lane. Ping's coming down, and support is here as well. So Parquet on half HP can't really defend this too efficiently, so that's a good point of attack. But yeah, the J4 did have top side, so doesn't actually want to go for an early pop of Gestalt. We had 12 minutes. He still has 2 minutes remaining, of course, which... Oh, another catch. Once again, a big wait for Zin, and Zin pops immediately. Wow, that was a lot. Oh, he's still Spider Norton away, but no.
Nope, will not escape.
This one.
So, thank you for filling that play-by-play. I was fixing... I can't figure out how to fix this. I'm working on it. Don't worry. I'll unmute whenever there's play-by-play to do, I promise.
Okay, so here we go. It's an unfortunate situation. Of course, apologies. I'm not sure why there were suddenly audio issues. So such a long time. But the next dragon going over to EVOS, they equalize the dragon score and are still looking at a very good position to scale into the later stage of the game. Speaking of scaling, TH is opening up a big advantage in the top lane in terms of CS and also experience. So he should be the outscaling point in the side lane for EVOS. Oh, smart move for Django to let
here we go. Yep, that is a catch onto B. He should be going down momentarily. Nothing he can really do. They just want to give the kill to Vit, and they'll do it successfully. And now I just need to turn Yulwei up a little bit in OBS. Can people in chat let me know how loud Yulwei is and if it needs to go up or down? And there is a bullet time to make sure the tower doesn't go down. That was a very strange position for B to be.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost the same position as Hope Find. Seem to really want to contest the bot side jungle for EVOS, but for some reason they die for again and again there. So maybe don't and wait again. Oh, wow. Aphelios gets hit by a big chunk of damage from Divkit.
Turn Yulwei up more. Everyone wants to hear Yulwei after all. Turn you up like that. Hoping you could...
Is it now? Yeah, luckily the game is very slow, so
we have time to do tech issues.
Yep.
Turn you up a little bit more. I'm watching your audio level as you speak.
Okay, my audio... This should be the normal volume I speak in.
That's about right.
Okay.
Chat, let me know. I'm not really good at OBS and stuff, so I always need help. But we do have a very even game on our hands, don't we?
Yeah. That said, in terms of scaling, there's a big advantage for EVOS, of course. We talked about the short range setup for VGA, a lot of melee champs. They don't actually scale too well, especially if you look at topside. Of course, Silas is a late game menace, but he alone can't turn fights. So Yeah, I think EVOS is in a big advantage right now. It doesn't really reflect in terms of gold score, but EVOS is fine just scaling and scaling and scaling and waiting for dragons. We once again have an Infernal Rift, so
will add
might
more
be in for a little
damage
bit of a longer
if they
one
can
here.
get it going, but that also gives VGA a chance to sort of equalize the scaling. So you can put out more damage with the Infernal Rift. And while we've got a bit of a downtime, we have received a cast question, which you can use 1,500 bad draft points. What do we think about Bork Irelia? Because this isn't you can't go Triforce. This is a real Bork Irelia.
Yeah, it seems to be the number one item choice. We've seen 3 Irelias today, and everyone has the Borg, so she does use a lot of auto
And you
attacks.
definitely
She
spike
is
earlier.
very strong. Yeah, and you definitely get a lot of the stacks of the passive a little bit faster. So I think it's, especially in the 1v1 situation, can be very strong.
Ooh, Sorn caught on the wrong side of the Emperor's Divide, but there's a lot of EVOS reinforcements, so PHT will not be able to make anything happen. Walking very far forward there, without any real vision. That was so risky. They had no
Yeah,
idea if anyone was waiting in the side bush. He didn't get punished, but my god.
I think he knew Parquet was too low to really force a fight again, so he was quite confident that he was safe there. Sorn will hit will catch the wave.
It was Divkid and Sorn.
Yeah, but Divkid, it doesn't really pose too much of a threat to him. No hard CC, just damage. It's not enough to lock down Silas, very slippery champion from time to time. So it was a little bit risky, but I don't think it was too much of a crazy play or anything. So.
Yeah.
To get back to the Borg point, I think she's very strong in the 1v1 especially, more pushing power as well. I think in pure teamfight setups, early on I would still favor Trinity Force because it gives you more useful stats, more cooldown reduction, a little bit of attack speed too, more chasing power. You get more ability damage, which is better in teamfight setups because you don't actually get to use your auto attacks as much. So it's pretty much a solo, a 1v1 build, in my opinion. More sustain is great for Aurelia. I'm interested to see what she wants to go for next. It's a dagger in her inventory, so I'm not sure where that's going.
Could be going.
Maybe 24 still.
Yeah, it could be a stinger. As VGA will seemingly be gifted a dragon, traded for the second Rift Herald. I think that's actually a pretty good trade for VGA. Second Rift Herald is not that strong. And being able to threaten the dragon stack is definitely very good for VGA. They can't let it go super late. I think if EVOS gets another dragon, the soul dream is dead for VGA, and Hero flashes the wall to get the hell out. Probably want to keep walking back.
Yeah, he's not very tanky.
He's not safe to do this. It is a 1v4 here, champ. And there's a shutdown. Hello?
Wow. Yeah, I think he played too much Aurelia with Sterax or something, feeling like solo queue, but he's only sitting on one very no HP whatsoever. So that was very foolish, very very hero-like. He likes to go for those plays a lot.
Absolutely, but
so of course he's now called TH. So if you're confused, we call him Hero. That was his prior name, and it's a way better name. So we still kind of revert to Hero all the time because we just like to call him that.
Yeah, it's a better name. Plus, it's just what we know him as. We do try and call him TH, but sometimes we default to Hero. It does flow off the tongue a little bit better. So it was 2 towers for 2 in the end. So VGA actually came out gold positive from that play. Still only a 400 gold lead, which is kind of ridiculous when you look at the CS in the solo lanes.
Yeah.
It's incredible that VGA is still close.
Kill lead. Yeah, it's a 2 kill lead, and the bot lane is very close. Everything else,
I don't feel like 2 kills makes up for a total of 100 CS. 60 and 110.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's like 2 kills is like 35 to 40 CS. Yeah. So Shouldn't actually be this close, I agree. But
Strange.
yeah, EVOS is slowly amassing more and more gold. And they have champions that scale more effectively with gold. So
Absolutely.
it's still an advantage for EVOS. They need to be careful about the dragon, though.
Ooh, this
That's
could
the
be a
one
bit of a
avenue to
funky
victory for
situation. PHT steals the wall. Takes so much damage, though. This makes any potential play hard. But here it is. Xin gets the hook. Hope confirmed it with the knockup. They couldn't block the lantern, though. And now
Now the
Hope
turn.
has to dive forward and be shot to death. Django flashing away. Infernum ult doesn't really do
Another
enough,
hook.
but the hook to turn it around. And there's the Emperor's Divide. They're fighting in a corridor against Aphelios. You don't want to do it. The man's got a flamethrower. He will burn you to a crisp. Ooh, goes for the
PH?
flash hook. Can't quite hit it. Can they get onto Sorn? PHT charging forward. Django will get that
It's pure
one.
chaos.
They're turning it around. TH might get the first kill, but no. B will go down. TH is super low. Xin with the
the CH.
awareness to turn around onto DivKid. They can't go under tower because Xin isn't quite tanky enough, but Django is. And EVOS all go to the grave. VGA turning it around.
Yeah, and they have the follow-up damage to secure at least one turret. They might actually be, if they are greedy, they could go for another one past Crescendum. So you can go Crescendum turret into Crescendum burst on the turret. Doesn't actually fancy that one. Fair call, but still a lot of gold induced now in VGA's combat. And this is probably the perfect spot to fight for them. Look at that again. PHT has the ultimate prepared. Parke is very low on mana. He can't actually do a whole lot. Good grabs all around. Both supports still absolutely on top of the game. First kill over to DivKid, but he's also very low on mana.
Then they fight in the corridor.
Look
at the Aphelios damage once he starts going.
Aphelios
Boom.
and Azir ult. That's a lot of damage. TH is very far behind. He's full HP, but he can't do anything. DivKid has to flash away. Sorn is super low. Sorn just goes down to PhD once. Yeah, Django actually gets the kill. And now there is the Aurelia, but Aurelia is super squishy. He gets one kill, but look at her HP bar going down very quickly. Bit completely ignores her for a while, but then turns around to secure the kill. And Django is still Aatrox in the mid game, so he has a lot of damage.
Great awareness by Xin as well to realize that he didn't need to do anything to guarantee the kill on Aurelia. So just turn around, hook DivKid, and make sure you secure the ace. Yep. Proud to see that out of Xin.
Overall.
Still think Xin got a bit of a rough ride when he was on Garm. People were mean to him.
Overall, Zin's performance in the last 2 weeks, he's now in for 6, is looking absolutely. He's looking like one of the greatest supports. And he's so on point with all the grabs here. Nautilus performance has been outstanding. Both supports actually almost pretty much smurfing in this game. The last fight, B with a perfect lantern into multiple grabs from Xin and B as well. So it's great to see.
He does hit a hook straight onto Aphelios there. Got it straight through the front line. The ult to potentially hold Aurelia back. He's got his chakrams. And look at him go. A straight line of damage. And it's a double kill for PHT. 3 of EVOS has fallen. And the worm has turned and possibly bit its own tail here. As EVOS, they thought they had something delicious. They pulled back with their teeth and then realized they're bleeding as they've ripped themselves in half.
Yeah, and EVOS can't continue to go for all the flanks. They really want to make the flanks happen with TH on the flank, but he's just not scary enough to go for that. So now he's once again trying to get a few kills here.
Ooh, he should be able to get the kill onto Hope. I think Django's going to go down as well. So this is a good trade back, but it's still soul point. Oh, he's so slippery, but the blast cone's up. TH should have this as soon as his Q cooldown. Another little slide forward. Django's wasting a lot of time.
Like it's slow.
Yeah, well done. Yep. He's wasting so much time. But there is the shutdown.
The time waste doesn't actually do that much for VGA, though. There's no big objective. They can Baron with only 3 players. Not really doable right now, even though they have Aphelios on 3 items already. This is so scary. He's 5-0-4, 3 super strong items this early in the game. EVOS needs to be super careful when fighting against them, but they are calling the sneak Baron.
Yeah, this is a bit of a bluff. They think maybe VGA thinks it was just a bit of vision clearing, but no, they're going to make sure to go forward.
It's dropping.
Yeah, it's going down very quickly, and the junglers aren't here yet. PHT pops that Stopwatch.
Oh,
big
Inferno.
Inferno. And can they charge forward? No. PHT's sacrifice will be enough to stop the Baron.
So there we go. Good call for EVOS, I'd say. Don't get the Baron in the end, especially because TH wasn't there from the start. He has the most Baron damage, which is something we almost never say about the top lane, but there's another.
Oh my god, it never stops here. I look away for a second, and Django's going in hog wild. Can they find it? Oh, big Cataclysm, locking two of them up in the rage cage, and in goes Django, dealing so much damage. Zid will get the kill. He gets the lantern out, but he brings the Nautilus ult, buying them some time. Parquet is here, could do a lot of damage. Hope charging forward. Here's the Aatrox once more. Can he get those Qs rolling? He's Emperor's divided out. Vit doing so much damage! Oh my word! And he can't quite find B, but Django is on a mission. He's got the eyes. Ooh, tricky little play, B. I like to see it. TH on the backside manages to kill Hope, but goes down with him.
And TH is so lost in these team fights. He had the perfect flank attack with it, but suddenly Bit was super good.
No, PHT got the shot.
And flash shields to run away, and TH hesitated to chase. I'm not sure why. He should have made the call that the fight is lost if Vid ever gets to the other teammates, because the only reason EVOS the fight was close, I should say, EVOS was fighting VGA close, was that Vid never entered the fight. So as soon as Vid arrived, the fight turned. Super easy for VGA to secure this one, and now it's a Baron for them. 3 dragons. The next one will spawn in 2 minutes. Let's take a look. This is so scattered.
This was hard.
Look at Vit. Yeah, Vit is in the mid lane still, and Park is very far away as well. So they actually biggest carries. Django is the biggest threat, and gets on DivKid. Easy kill on him. There we go.
Finally,
they take a lot of time to kill him. Now look at TH positioning. Vit and TH. Vit gets spotted by Parky here. Yeah, here. Look at this. TH on the flank, but doesn't chase. I'm not sure why he didn't chase.
Not sure.
What is he doing here? Why?
And then Vit was on the other side of the divide. Oh no. Just burnt them to death.
Yeah. TH just very useless right now. And all the Aurelius didn't seem to do a whole lot.
He called in the napalm strike.
Yeah, man, this is Aphelios now on. So you could just go to the shopkeeper and say, I want some survivability. What do you have for me? Full GA? Sounds great. So here we go. How do they ever kill DivKid? Not DivKid, Vid, of course.
Yep.
It's not going to happen. I don't feel like it's going to. It will be very hard.
Vid can put the carry pants on, though. Absolutely can.
Already has.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got. He's got to put a second layer of pants on.
Yeah.
And Parquet's Azir, I mean, it hasn't been terrible, but I don't think it's been amazing. And he's got to do a lot in the late game to really be that big scaling threat. I don't think this is over.
Parquet's Azir right now is on the mission to.
This is a close game.
On the peace mission. Because he goes for wow, the damage. Oh, Infernum turrets. Wow, that is not okay.
It's not.
Aphelios is still quite strong on the lake.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I gotta say though, yes, 200 years, stinky, all of that. It is an 8-0 ADC.
Yeah.
He should do that
able
much
to
damage.
deal a lot of. Yeah, I agree. This is not the game to flame Aphelios. Design 8-0 ADCs
and
should be able to blow away
secured.
Almost everything.
Oh boy, are you ready to see some damage?
Yeah, Inferno mold, please. I want to see the Inferno mold burn everyone to death.
Truly an Infernum. Even more flame.
Yeah. Look at the damage on TH. TH just stabbed in the vicinity. It was blown to like two-thirds HP from 2 turret shots.
Absolutely ridiculous. You are a little bit ahead of us, just by the way. My stream had a bit of a hiccup just before, so might want to pause for just two seconds or so.
Yep.
TH again, taking a little bit more damage from PHT. PHT this game, I think, just needs to play screening Silas. This is all on Vit. I think the big combo that could come in is The Cataclysm.
what are you doing?
Oh, he's going in. He's actually winning the fight so far. Could have another Kingslayer, but Sorn is here. It won't matter.
Oh, Kingslayer?
No. Unfortunate there that there was the stopwatch. I don't think this Silas is getting out. Big heal, but he's got 4 men chasing him. I mean, I'd chase Silas as well. Don't get me wrong. He's a big buff boy, but I don't think he's going to get out of this one. Down he goes.
What is the... to stay at this analogy, what is killing him there?
I don't think it's
How would you
appropriate.
translate that?
I don't think I can say that on cast, what that analogy would be.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. You can think you're...
Might be a little bit too Kappa Pride for the chart. But yeah, it is a bit of an unnecessary kill to give away there for PHT.
Yeah,
Didn't need
stop
to happen.
the whole push as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they get 2 inhibitors. Oh, actually, only 1 inhibitor in the bot lane. That's not good enough for their advantage right now. They've found, so they might just go back to the next Baron, which is a little bit disappointing to see because they should be able to just lock down this game very easily. Of course, they still have some sieging problems. We talked about their clean bot, but yeah, it doesn't have the greatest siege. They only have 1 ranged champ. That ranged champ doesn't have any escape and doesn't really have the greatest amount of range if he doesn't have the Calibrum. So, it's not easy to knock down.
Not gonna lie, Yulwei. We've had so much action this game. I thought we were in game 3. I just checked the time and went, 1:30. That's actually like not a bad time for us to end. You know, we'd be done in 10 or so minutes. No, we got a whole nother game probably. All right, I'm digging it. This is
starting off the week.
This is a shockingly fun series.
It is. Both series have been very crazy. A lot of action. All the teams seems to still not quite be too comfortable on the new patch. A lot of weird, crazy picks, but a lot of action. So it's good for the viewers. Not great for the teams, but what do we care, right?
Yeah. No, of course not. We don't care about the teams. They can deal with it. It's their own fault. It's their own play.
1,000 crits with Severum. Yeah, I think this game's over.
It's very...
They have a lot of tools to dive this failures, so could always happen. It's not very likely, though. So does Aurelia get useful later on in the game? That's the big question here. She's sitting on 5 kills, 300. Should actually be an impactful champ. So far in every fight, she's just been going down, like, immediately. So, not sure about that one. Also, Silas itemization.
Yeah, I like this, honestly. I think he just needs to play a screen. He just needs to attract enough attention that Vit can carry the fight. I don't think he needs to blow people up. Yep. As Baron going down very quickly, we have a crescendo. The TP's coming in. I actually think they could have finished the Baron. The ult comes down. There's a lot of damage. TH is in the back line doing as much as he possibly can. There was a good bullet time as well, but it didn't do enough. And now the screen's frozen, but I'm going to make up what's happening. Sorn's gone down. TH comes back from the res, and he will be burned to death. It's only B left alive. And oh my lord, we're going to game 3. And I will say something. VGA, they might be a bottom team in the league, but this roster is 1-0 and could go 2-0 this week. Zin has revitalized this roster.
And Hope in the jungle seems to be the best configuration they could go for. Of course, when they first started to test out Hope, the former coach, of course, of the team, back in the lineup, he played top lane, and that didn't go too well. To be honest, they still won a game, though. Yeah. But then he went for Fiora and threw it all away, so they could have actually been 2-0 already if they went with Hope in the jungle for the first time. So, yeah, Scary played jungle at that time, so now Hope is in the jungle, and Django is back in playing. VGA is looking like a mid of the table team, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, that's completely realistic, honestly. As they go to game 3 with a dominant performance, and it was a dominant performance. There was no cheese pick. It was just individual play.
Yeah.
And I think they looked good.
6 games to start off the week. Here for
That's 2 weeks in a row that we've had the 6 game.
So I'm honestly not sure which team Adonis had a very strong performance. Even on the draft, I would say that it's harder to execute. I would have, just looking at the draft alone, I would have definitely preferred EVOS's draft as a setup for this game. But Adonis made it work, and Vid had an absolute pop-off game on the Aphelios. I think we have to give him the
There's
MVP.
no question.
Do you agree?
Absolutely. Vit hard carried the game. They didn't win it without him playing like that. Makes total sense.
Shout out to Zin, though. Zin had a great performance once again on the Nautilus, hit all the crucial, great target selection for his ultimates as well. He continues to perform. This bot lane is quietly rising up. If we did it pure bot lane ranking, they would definitely not be 7th place.
Yeah, genuinely, Zin and Hope coming into the lineup, particularly Zin, I do really want to shout him out because he's so good on the support, has revitalized VGA. Why? If only they'd had them the first half of the season, we might have had a really interesting new team. But it's unfortunate. Maybe if they are still in the VCS next split, which I imagine they will be playing like this, maybe they can pop off and surprise us. But we'll have to find out if they can surprise us by taking a game, a series off EVOS, I should say, in around about 8 minutes. Thanks for joining us. It's been a cracker of a series so far. You won't want to miss the conclusion. We'll see you in just a little bit, guys. Thanks again.
Yeah, stay tuned for more crazy picks, more crazy aggression. We will be back in a few minutes.
See you then, guys.
A lot of player swaps with Bud1 coming in. Son and Dia1 didn't really work out too well, and it's quite surprising if you look at the players now, right? With Son and Dia1 both being in contention of best in their role, and together they couldn't make it happen. So would be very, very disappointing for Son to not play us here, but now it's still possible, of course. They need to win this one. In terms of game score, they're far behind Cerberus. Right now they're sitting at 11 and 14, so -3. Victory here is crucial.
Absolutely. And the bands are coming in looking very, very similar, honestly. I mean, I think there's a bit of logic to running it back.
Yeah. We have Vladimir on the red side as a ban against TH.
It makes sense. Just take away his one trick. Maybe you'll force him onto Mordekaiser and then you can punish them all.
And your Kalista again and lose the game? Nice. Good strategy.
Renekton taken out. I think that's smart. I think Renekton's actually pretty good on this match. I think he's looked good. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him shoot up in priority. What will the final
We always have to question those blue side, though, because If you think Renekton is this strong, just first pick him, right?
I don't know if he's necessarily first pickable yet. And there's the Irelia ban, despite TH not super impressing on it. Maybe they want to pick something that's vulnerable to it, but it gives over Aphelios, and we saw what Vit could do last game, and DivKid is certainly capable of the same.
Yeah, DivKid hasn't actually played too much of her. Only 2 games on the Aphelios, much more 8 MF games, so it's a little surprising they would pick the Aphelios this early. I think it's only due to the fact that Vit smurfed on Aphelios last game. So they wanted to.
Is Django going to throw out the gauntlet? That's a Callista. Now we don't know where it's going. This is potentially
this is
a blind
very strong bot
solo.
lane as well. Who knows? PHT is definitely keen to fix his mistakes from the first game and maybe have a little bit of better performance in game 3 here on the Callista. It's a little risky to go for that though. I like the Thresh pick away. You touched on that in the last draft. It's very good to pick away the Thresh from the Aphelios. Last game, the Aphelios didn't really struggle without the Thresh, but you can always hope for that. So Aphelios Nautilus seems to be the secondary combination for Aphelios, and we might have another Mordekaiser top lane.
This is again super. Why are you doing this to me, EVOS? You can't pick the Mordekaiser before you know where the Callista's going. Callista will destroy you. I mean, it's PHT obviously threw the game away in game 1, but I'm sure he'll be much more restrained this time. This is so risky.
Yeah, and until he threw away the game, he was insane in the top lane matchup. So, yeah, I hate the Mordekaiser once again. Don't know why. Another gank, not gank, dive jungler, of course, in the least. So it's everything is set up for a repeat of game 1 in terms of the early game for Adonis. They don't want to repeat the last 15 minutes of the game, but they definitely want to repeat the first 15. Yeah. So there's a lot of dive once again in the top lane for Adonis. They can get Elise Cocoon into a lot of Durant stacks, then Elise resets to aggro, and Django finishes off the kill. So it should be very easy to execute. What will the bans be? Aatrox ban.
Yeah.
What is EVOS even doing?
I don't know. Maybe they feel that it's a good matchup into Mordekaiser and they don't want to take it away. I don't think they read this as a Callista top. Italy being banned out, take away the Thorn special. Very good.
He hasn't actually played the Thorn special this season, though. So it's a little surprising still, especially also because you have top side already with AP and Mordekaiser, so you don't actually play in Italy. This ban is a little surprising. I like the Olaf ban more. I think it's more solid. Especially because we have seen a lot of Olaf and Elise priorities. So it seems like those 2 champs are the go-to junglers right now.
Absolutely. I'm surprised Olaf made it through the first round of bans to the first phase of draft in a whole, honestly. He's been super high priority, but is out now. And EVOS definitely doesn't think that's a top lane Callista. If that goes top lane, you've pissed away 2 bans and have a bad matchup. This isn't ideal. This is not ideal.
Okay, it's not going top lane apparently. Or maybe this is a mid lane gameplay. I mean,
I doubt it. I think this is going to be a bot lane clip.
Adonis does whatever they want, so no one knows. Of course, Gangplank also into Mordekaiser is a very good matchup. He can just scale forever. He gets to farm freely, so it's it's a more defensive approach to the game, but also a very good one for the later stages of the game. Doesn't really pose too much threat to the Aphelios, though, so I think Adonis needs a mid laner that can threaten Aphelios a little bit more. Because if not, Aphelios gets to free scale and free backline carry this game for EVOS.
Absolutely. We'll see what the last pick is. Does have to go into a pretty dangerous pick, honestly.
Echo. I want to see Echo here.
Yeah, I think Echo would be
counter
really
into Syndra. Yeah, maybe not quite in the wheelhouse for PHT. Echo's a little
good.
Play Echo without preparation.
Yeah, we had Echo with a H in the last game, and we could have Echo with 2 Ks in this one. But it is Silas, so never mind the jokes. THT will go to the Rebel once more. I'm not 100% sure on that pick. There aren't amazing ults to steal.
Mordekaiser ult might actually prove to be super impactful.
Potentially.
If you can Mordekaiser ult the Aphelios needs to buy QSS because it can never live through Mordekaiser ult on the Sylas, of course. Sylas, as opposed to Mordekaiser, actually has gap closers in his ult, so that's not a fun time for Aphelios. You still lose 10% of your core stats, and then Sylas can close in on you very easily with E. So I think that's probably the ult he looks at. Rexa ult is actually not a bad one either. A lot of bursts, and you can reset fights. I think Rexa ult is one of the best for Sylas.
Yeah.
Nautilus ult can be strong in team fights, of course. Syndra ult is a little bit of a weird one.
Yeah, I mean,
because you can pick up the souls from the Syndra, as far as I know.
The orbs,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Orbs, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a funny matchup because there's a lot of orbs flying. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the Sylas pick.
So Syndra against Sylas is actually super fun because Sylas can use the ult to pick up the orbs from Syndra. If Syndra delays her ult enough, she can then use all the orbs Sylas used, because of course you produce 3 extra orbs with the ult, so you actually get to an insane amount of orbs. I think you can get to 7, and you almost never get to 7.
Get to
I think 6 is the highest you can sustain.
You get to more than 7 if you stole Sylas's. You could potentially get to like 9.
Yeah, 9 would be so crazy.
That's a lot
9
of damage.
Is pretty much one shot potential. Yeah. So I think Sylas is maybe the ults are not super practical, but it's some of the most fun ults to watch, especially Syndra and Mordekaiser.
Yep, absolutely. So where are the pressure points going to be? We've got 2 early game junglers that need to get going. Elise and Rek'Sai definitely want to have an impact early, particularly the Hail of Blades Rek'Sai is super strong early, but it definitely falls off late. So
I think we will see a lot of skirmishing in the mid lane. There is no gank top lane for either side. I could see a gank happen for Hope, but only once. You could gank TH once early on and then ignore top lane for the rest of the game. Rely on Jenga to be able to carry the 1v1. But PHT and Parky provide a lot of CC setup, and I think we will see a lot of action in the mid lane. In terms of bot lane matchup, I think VGA should have the advantage and should be on the push early on, which then also gives an opportunity to div kit if you thread the needle on the cocoon and actually get the cocoon on div kit through B. Then you can definitely burst them down.
Absolutely.
So far, B has been a great bodyguard, so it's not super likely.
Yeah, it'll definitely be difficult. You might want to be looking for flash cocoons where you can catch them a little bit separated. Bit difficult.
Oh, PHC gets the first jump because he gets level 2, because now Parker.
Yeah, but range. It kind of ends up being an equal trade because ranged auto attacks are pretty good. But still, not a bad situation for PHT.
You have to take into consideration, though, that the Sylas can, of course, you max the Kingslayer. I think you skill it last, though, so you don't have it until...
You have to skill it last to clear waves. You need the auto resets of your E. Django! Oh no, he might be about to be Django chained as Thorn flashes forward to knock him up. This is an interesting teleport. Not going to work out whatsoever. And down in the bot lane, Vit will get one back onto B. And welcome back to the VCS, boys, as we've got some kills.
Pause was way too long. Players got bored, so we have 2 kills at 3 minutes. That's what we want to see. Once again, an ill-advised TP. We are full on VCS mode here. We have kills in the early game, bad TPs. So checking all the boxes. I mean, of course,
they've actually recovered from what was a shockingly bad TP. They've just lane swapped. That makes sense. Just lane swap until your next reset. Why not?
That's smart. Yep, that's true. I agree. Got more CS, especially for the top laner.
Down here,
this
just a good hook.
Flash cocoon. Yeah, good follow up. So I talked about them having to thread the needle div kit, but they actually just went for B, which on level 2 is still feasible. And of course, even though Nautilus is a very, very tanky boy, not on level 2.
Oh, I mean, he's not that tanky a boy if he can't hit his Aftershock. And if you chain CC him, he can never actually CC anyone, even though obviously it's stupidly easy to trigger Aftershock on Nautilus. You got to be able to move. So early game, Nautilus is that diving suit. Might want to get it pressure checked because it's a bit paper.
That's a very good call. Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to go for the very heavy dive. Then you can't come back up.
True. I mean, that was kind of what happened to Nautilus, though. Oh wow, that was a bit of PHT going in the bounce. Got ping ponged in and out. The chains were cancelled by the scatter the week.
Yeah, this matchup pretty much plays like Syndra LeBlanc. It's almost the same interaction where LeBlanc always has to look for aggressive Ws on Syndra, and this time PHT has aggressive E's. There is a big advantage though for Silas because he can heal up, so should be safe on lane. But whenever the gank comes in for Zorn, then suddenly Silas is exposed and a very easy target to kill. So I would really like to see Zorn look for ganks in the mid lane. I think it should be a relatively easy target, especially if you can set up the scatter the weak and the stun into follow-up knockup.
Yep, not super easy to do that on Silas, of course. Does have a very fast dash. So potentially get away, but
he needs a target to dash.
No, he doesn't.
For the first part, not. Okay, yeah, that's fair. But usually wants to use the first part aggressively.
Yeah.
Wait for him to use it aggressively, and then he can't dash away because the second part needs a target. So.
Yeah, that's
You're, of course, correct. The first part is a dash.
I was going to say, did they change that about Silas and I missed it? I haven't played him in a while. Am I just, full troll? No, I know exactly what you mean. That first part of the E will very often be on cooldown. It's a Syndra roll battle.
Come on.
Are we going to see the ball pit?
Yeah, Parkin knew exactly that he didn't have the damage to kill PHT, so it would be a very bad call to use your...
Peng, I'm just going to suggest something to Peng, if you're in the chat. When you put up, if this game we have a few Silas and Syndra both ulting each other, can you make the thumbnail the scene from The Simpsons where they put Maggie in daycare and she goes in the ball pit and the babies are all crying and they go, the babies look sad. No, they're not. Add more balls. They just pour more in. The babies just sink. Can you please make that the thumbnail? As a good steal there from Zorn takes away the Mountain Drake and the fight will begin. Down comes Hope. VGA just wants to get the hell out of here, but Vit can't get to the lantern and he is the sacrificial lamb. And that's a really, really bad turnaround here for VGA. They lose the dragon and their AD carry.
And Zorn stole that dragon, I think, with a Q. It is so humiliating. Of course, it's understandable, but still not okay for him to miss the smite. Of course, he's still playing as a jungler here in the VCS, so he should be able to hit those. Should have been an easy secure. Instead, it's now a kill over to Mordekaiser and a very nice dragon for him as well. Should be able to sustain the top lane. Oh, DivKid.
Yeah, DivKid, I don't think you're getting out of this one. This is super easy for Xin. They could go for the turn. Does a lot of damage, but in the end, no. And no, that's a huge mistake. Why is Xin getting the kill there?
Yeah, I think he ignited. So look at Hope. Missed the smite. Oh no, Zorn smited at 25 health. So fair enough. Still, it was a big smite miss from Hope. Who got a little bit too scared, I think.
Got a bit antsy.
Yeah.
Pulled the trigger too early.
Unfortunately. So now we have a big advantage in the top lane. We have kill bot lane, of course, for VGA. Kill went over Xin. So now he had the ult to invest in his boots. These boots got nerfed this patch. And I wondered if we would still see a lot of the supports go for early Moby boots. Because, of course, now the Swifty boots are actually very, very fast. So you almost get as fast as you were with the Moby boot. But you don't lose the movement speed. So quite a little bit surprised we still see so many Mobies. Of course, they are now 100 gold more expensive. from 900 to 1000.
I think it's still good if you're planning
that
to
extra
roam,
kill.
honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. It's still by far the fastest choice.
Ooh, Hope could be in a lot
there
of
goes
trouble here. He's
Sorn.
super low, but Sorn goes for the pop-up early, and Hope manages to repel to the blast cone. Gets out by the hair on his chinny chin.
Indeed. Yeah. One Q into old wood.
Yeah,
Want to kill him, so
absolutely.
Hope aware of that. Immediately went for the repel. Luckily for him, there was a weapon available to repel to, so everything is fine for him. He also secured the buff. So it's only now the Shelly going over to EVOS, which is, of course, Hope is still here.
Never mind. Hope, challenging. Could go forward to try and smite, but no, he's scared off by Parquet. Not necessarily the craziest thing ever. We're very close to PHT being able to steal the Cinder ult again, but no, it doesn't pull the trigger on keeping on the follow. They do back off. Makes sense. So EVOS, with every objective so far, they're in a good position.
Yeah. Also a slight gold lead, 800 now. So everything seems to go EVOS's way, which is, of course, what we expected. EVOS was the favorite here. Yep. It's still not over. VGA has quite some scaling tools. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think they
Swan is looking. Well. Swan is looking for the dive.
There's the shot. He can use the ult. This is a very scared pirate. Can you yo-ho fiddle-dee-dee? Do what you want, because it is a pirate free. Might be a free kill. As he's running around the tower. Good flash there. Could go for the kill on TH if he really wants it. Has the oranges. I don't think he's used them yet. There's the chomp, and Thorn tunnels away. Oh, Django did everything he could. And on the other side of the map, 1 for 1 so far. Zin will not be getting out of here, I imagine. No, I tell a lie. He absolutely is. But now B straight up 1v1ing Hope. Gets into the... Oh, can we get into Spider form? We can! Not that it mattered, as he took him down before he transformed. And by the skin of their teeth, they managed to get out with a 2 for 1 in the bot lane, but it's gone very wrong in the top.
Yeah, and now 2k ulti for EVOS. They used the top lane advantage. Bot lane, even though VGA had the numbers advantage, didn't go too well, a little bit too aggressive. Didn't use his heal. Not sure if it was up for the dive. It's up now, so it could have been up there. Let's look at the bot lane again, because we didn't get to see what happened there. We have probably a stopwatch. Oh, Fate's Call, of course. And now the grab from B turned the fight around, because Wit once again got turret aggroed. And Zin, look at Zin.
Yeah.
Zin flays away B. So now it's B against Hope, and B actually wins this fight. He's one level ahead. This is super scary. And look at all this. You see well chained between Zin and Hope. Perfect chain of CC, so B didn't have a single auto attack left.
Oh, it's a party in the bot lane, but VGA says, sorry, mate, I didn't RSVP. But EVOS will get the dragon. That's 2 for them.
Even though it's a one-man party, or one, they are super time, they still got the dragon, so actually not too sad that no one came to their party, because they still enjoyed themselves.
They sent presents,
of course.
You know? It's the best kind of party when you're like 25 and you feel obligated to have a party, but all your friends are like, sorry, dude, we have prior obligations, but like, I've transferred you $100.
Yes, I can play League.
I transferred you $100. Yes, gaming night, and I can order pizza. Here we go.
So true. So now, EVOS, is looking at a very strong mid game. Of course, as you said before, VGA does have some very strong scaling tools. Their composition is still a little bit short ranged, and they will struggle to kill Div Kit, in my opinion. So let's look at this one again.
Comes in. This is going to be a 3v3. Oh, big Aphelios ult. He has a Gravitum on all 3 if he wants to proc it for the CC. Hasn't come in yet because the GP ult did spook him away. So it will be 1 free kill there for VGA. And they run away. Ooh, but they want to go for round 2, but Zin hooks just a little bit early.
So it really seems like not very tanky when he went down immediately. So very good CC chaining once again from Zin and Hope. to secure the kill on the support. And once again, a very bad TP. I've seen way too many of those this game. Please, mid laners, just go for combat summoners. We don't want to see mid lane TPs anymore. They never end up working. So just go for ignites. We want to see more solo kill potential.
Yeah. I agree. Why not? VCS can't use teleports. Just pick ignite. Why not? Could they get the steal? This is a massive overextension by Hero. Goes into the death realm with PHT. PHT's doing a good job kiting it out. Django's getting chomped on the backside, and they will get the trade kill. Out he comes. PHT needs to rejoin this fight. Up in the air goes Elise. Can they get her on the way down? No. Good lantern there by Xin. Absolute MVP so far. B is on the front line, getting a little bit caught. Flashes away, still has Callista Spears. No, they're rendered out. PHT now charging forward as Vit hop.
Here's another jump.
And there's the E. It will catch on. Hero's in some trouble. Knocks PHT the wrong way. That's actually a really clever lantern by Xin. It seemed confusing at first, but PHT did take it, and it's a double kill and 3 kills overall for VGA, only traded for 1. They're coming back, boys.
Yeah, E was too deep in the enemy jungle, and then it's quite dire for them in the start. But they were able to delay a lot, and then Kingslayer, we have to count the Kingslayer uses on replay, because I think he got like twice his HP bar back.
Yeah, there was definitely some regicide. We were looking like the French Revolution out here. And they were definitely not allowed to eat cake. But Hero has teleported in. No. This could be a 3v3 once again, but PHT has the fast track. Sword is just getting blown up. This is going wrong already for EVOS. They're outclassed. They're outmanned. They're killed. This has all gone wrong. VGA, here comes the hops from Vit. PHT is in the Death Realm. I don't think you want to come in there with him. Actually, I think that might have been Silas using the Death Realm. And he says, this is where I live. This is Comrade Silas's realm.
Yeah, it is. Is there a good name? Death Realm Ultimate for Silas?
Yep. We need to come up with a name.
Is there an alternative name? I'm not sure. There's, of course, a Thresh with Gulag. What else? I think the bombs are great.
I mean, you could just call it, I don't know, East Berlin.
There we go again.
I feel bad because you're German, but I'm still going to make the joke. We could call it Siberia instead. As this was a bloodthirsty
Let's look at PHT here. Yeah. PHT is half HP, goes back in. Kingslayer 408. So he goes back out. Very good kiting for PHT. He's now conqueror full another Kingslayer 435. So we are up to 8 for 50. And there we go. Another one for 43. It's getting more and more ridiculous. 1.3k, and that's a small fight. And he's only level 10. So
when you think about it, the fact that ability is named Kingslayer and it's a bite, that's brutal. What's he doing? Is he biting their throat out? Like, Silas, don't get me wrong. I'm on board with the regicide, but I'm not a fan of your methods. Like, guillotines. Guillotines got perfected, dude.
Maybe it's like the next evolution of the guillotine, where he's...
Silas just has a little blade in his top teeth.
Yeah, I think so. Probably. That he sustains off the blood or something, because he gets health. So I'm not sure where the health
Silas
is coming from. Where he's slaying a king.
Someone on YouTube, you can have that one for free. Silas is a vampire? Fan theory. This is...
maybe it's just his morale going up in every... Right? Because... I think that's probably more... Yeah. So now VGA, of course, up to a big advantage. We turned around the game once again. Clown Fiesta Day in the VCS again.
I don't know if I'd call this a Clown Fiesta. I've actually really enjoyed these games. I think they've been super
VGA is actually playing a very solid game.
Good flash there by DivKid. Gets away. 2 big ults expended for VGA. And I don't think they're going to get anything out of it. The minions are so low. There's no push.
Yeah, looking at the siege potential for VGA, they've even Callista is not the greatest sieger, because of course she builds more attack speed than AD, so her siege damage is not high. You profit a lot more from pure stats than from attack speed, or pure offensive stats. That's why mages also siege well. So yeah, Kalista, look at that. That one auto attack dealt no damage whatsoever to the turrets. So they will struggle to knock down turrets. They probably need Baron to end this game.
I definitely think.
But in terms of team fighting, they are super strong right now.
Absolutely. And I also think it's probably at the point where Django is very safe in this side. Gangplank, of course, once he gets that Triforce, is a big boy. He's a scary pirate.
Even though he's 0-3, he can still impact the game.
Yep, your ult.
We've already seen how Divkid can't really fight inside the UK. So just drop the Gangplank ult on top of Divkid, and he will just need to wait out the fight, and then the rest of the team can probably just win in time. The PhD is a big threat to Divkid, so they actually assembled, or they actually picked a champ last pick that can threaten the kill on Divkid. So my comms early on for VGA's comp are kind of resolved.
Yeah, here we go. It's kicking off, and Zin is taking a hell of a lot of damage. VGA has not returned anything. I don't think they want this. Hope flashes away. Big flank here from PHT into the hook on to the Mordekaiser. He tries to go into the Death Realm, but can't. Well, in fact, he can, but it's not the one he wanted. As
yeah, no.
1-for-1 in the end.
Sorn's still on the chase.
Sorn is going for the chop and absolutely blows through Zin. That looked like a delicious meal, though I imagine Thresh doesn't have too much meat on his bones. They're going to try and continue this, even though it's 4v3. Vit has used the cleanse. Look at the damage out of this Gangplank. Yo-ho-ho! Fiddle-dee-dee, do what you want, because this pirate is free. He charges forward. In the end, it's a positive trade.
It's still a one-team fight.
Yeah, they did well.
PHT threw himself into the enemy. Crazy. But it bought enough time for Django and Vit to turn up the consistent DPS. And in the end, VGA walks out with 2 more turrets and a 4k gold lead. Sorn, what are you doing?
Sorn, what are you doing? No, with a good tunnel, it's actually a 3v3. Vit in the Death Realm. This is not who you want to be Death Realming, but if you pop out in a 1v3, it might be okay. Don't think it's going to matter too much that he's getting kited forever, as Syndra will get the shutdown and 2 kills back for a very cheeky little turnaround by Sorn.
Yeah. Looked, once again, a little bit crazy. Well, we have a lot of crazy plays, and it seems like Peachy just sacrificed himself. He didn't even have a stopwatch.
This kid doesn't have chakrams.
This is super risky, though.
Gangplank could get some barrels. Ooh, not a good start there. Django just didn't seem to lay out the chain. Zin in the middle of the enemy team. PHT's here. Could go into the Death Realm. In fact, already has. Where's he going to go? He's trying to go onto Parquet, zoning him out. They've got them off the Baron, but this is super disjointed by VGA. Can he get the shot? Oh, is he going to get it? He can get the shutdown. That's worth your life. In the end, it was a 3v4. They come out 2-for-1, but they stop the Baron. So I think VGA is okay with it.
And the Dragon is spawning, so VGA can look to break the Dragon chain and get another nice Infernal Drake for themselves. 2 Infernal Drakes. Still not as good as 1 Infernal Drake last season, but it's getting there.
It's getting worth it. Of course.
Also, Infernal Drake is very interesting on Kalista, because you can actually get to a point where Kalista, with as strong as an auto-taker as every other, he gets the punishment. And then you can look to go crit Kalista, which not a whole lot of people like to do, but it can be very strong in the late game.
I mean, I feel like part of the problem is that you get it too late. You can't exactly pivot to crit.
You already built crit items, right? So Runaan's Hurricane gives 25% crit. So she could now go into crit items very effectively and have the natural scaling from double crit items come in for more single target DPS.
Yeah.
Personally, big proponent of crit Kalista. I think she scales better into the late game than just pure lifesteal Kalista, which is, of course, what most people go for, because you just want to be super tanky and be annoying.
Safer to go live.
It's also way more annoying to deal with. But yeah, in terms of pure damage, I think the crit build can be more efficient on the late game. Now Django's caught.
Django is caught, but I don't know if he's caught or is Hero caught. I think you've got to be pretty careful if you're this Mordekaiser. It's not a super easy 1v1.
I think Mordekaiser should go into... Oh,
the Death Realm used. He's not winning this. That is in the right realm, the Cannon Barrage. I actually think in this matchup, you want to save your Death Realm for when he calls the Cannon Barrage. Because if you look for
solo kills, but it's still super... Yeah, I agree. But it's still super valuable to get the Cannon Barrage up, right? Because the Death Realm cooldown is only slightly, but it is shorter, so...
Speaking of the Cannon Barrage, just while we have a lull state, I found something very funny. Someone posted the April Fools from like 2011, the patch notes. And the Gangplank one's great. Okay. All of Gangplank's VGA, like voice lines, have been made to sound very far away. Gangplank now no longer appears on the map. He's fighting from his ship.
What?
Like it was just like the April Fools, obviously, but I found it really funny.
Okay. Gangplank has gone through some very interesting patches. He had to die, had to be reworked. I still think that as well.
I still think that was one of my biggest what the hell moments when I booted up League of Legends and was like, I feel like playing Gangplank today. You cannot play Gangplank because he is dead. Oh.
I love how all the pro players were so tilted.
Oh, but never mind, as we do have a fight breaking out. Ooh, never mind. The Dark Passage will stop the fight from kicking off. Hope is much more exposed than he thinks he is. Throws out the cocoon to buy the time. Nautilus ult stolen. Will we see Depth Charge out of Silas make a big play?
Also back to even goals. EVOS has quietly come back to a more even position. Sawn is super strong.
The flash forward there, straight onto Hope, but he goes up in the air. Should be able to get to the lantern. No, they're all on top of it. The big models block it off, and that's the jungler dead, and they're near Baron. This is scary. No chakrams for Ophelio, so it's not a Baron getting one shot. Sawn's got the flank. Ooh, the Callista sentry spots the trap. They might have to walk into the baited trap. They don't have a choice.
Oh,
PHT's way too far forward. He's going to get caught out. There's a lantern and he gets to it just in time, but he's in the Death Realm. He's healing up. Can he get through all this Mordekaiser damage? No, he cannot. Down he goes. Hero starting it off well. And no, VGA. Oh, good Fate's call to dodge the Ophelio assault. Can they turn this around? Django is doing what he can. Sawn diving forward. Here comes the chop. He's getting all the ghosty bits today. Sawn will go down on the backside, but it doesn't matter because this is a huge one fight for EVOS.
That was some very, very good late Rexa. Rexa is just a not in the late game. Rishi gets ahead, but Hope on the chase.
Oh, they are coming in. Hope has respawned, so they can't do the Baron. Once again, a lost team fight, but a prevented Baron. But we are back at pretty much dead even gold.
So the next objective, of course, will be the next Infernal Drake, 30 seconds. 3 Infernals for VGA. Ooh, you really don't want... We could be in a very long game. Haven't actually seen a single Elder Dragon today, and this is
we haven't seen many
already going to be our...
General.
Yeah, this is probably going to be our longest game of the day, to close out the day. PhD getting caught, uses
the Death Realm was a little bit lucky to go off.
Yeah. Flashed on top of him. So TH, no flash for the next fight. This might actually mean that TH can't really look for team fights, but they have to because there's a
and Infernal Drake is a little bit upset.
No Cannon Barrage.
Yeah, no Cannon Barrage is a big deal. EVOS has everything in the tank. They definitely want to delay out, but Hero is caught here, but so is PHT.
He's looking for the Death Realm.
PHT is in the Death Realm with Sawn, has locked him out, done a lot of damage. We'll try and find him. Can he get a Kingslay? Or in this case, a Sharkslay? No, they'll both back off on very low health, but VGA will go up to sole point. Yeah.
3 Infernal Drakes.
Ooh, Sawn in trouble here. Cannon Barrage used. He's dead. Django shoots him in the back of the head. Brutal.
And honestly, VGA is looking like the better coordinated. They set up better Even though EVS should have a very strong teamfight composition,
I genuinely
looks
think
like VGA.
if this VGA lineup had started the split, they'd be in playoff contention.
Yeah, I agree. And they can still be. If they win this one, they are in 3-7. That's not great, but it's
definitely possible. It's very hard, though. And this is a bad fight for them. They've got health, low health bars, but DivKid's already dead. Parquet's the only damage threat. Can they find him? DivKid somehow gets a kill from beyond the grave. And they will have to back off with the super low health bars. In the end, 2 for 2.
Yeah, this can do it all. Yeah, DivKid got caught by a very clutch cocoon there for Hope. I think if Hope didn't flash cocoon Aphelios there, Aphelios would wipe the floor.
I think it was Baron that got him the kill. Must have been.
That's another count. Yeah, might be the case.
Not sure what else.
But it doesn't really matter if he gets a kill there, because the important part is VJ does get the back. And he was back to a gold lead. It's only 100, so we are dead even.
This is tense.
It is.
I think genuinely, like, VGA, could you not have done this at the start of the season? We can't underestimate this team anymore, as this was just super low health bars from the side of VGA. They were very lucky to pick DivKid up that early, and yeah, it was Baron. Spat straight onto Hope. In the end, 2 for 2.
Yeah. So I think Hope might have actually saved the game there with, because DivKid got to freely fire a few seconds more, a clean ace VGA there, and that can snowball into Baron, and Baron can snowball victory. Another close call on the grab, B on the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, I think Side was was 5 weeks early. Maybe that's how Swedes work. They see into the future. Maybe. Possible. PHT uses the Syndra ult. I think it was running out.
It didn't deal any damage with that. What was that?
Yeah.
It didn't even cut through the shield for DivKid. Wow. That's a very low impact Syndra ult. And now no available for PHT for the fight. Can EVOS capitalize?
Possible.
No Crescendum, so no Baron.
Very good PHT taking a lot of damage. They will initiate here. B throws himself in, and Django gets popped up in the air. Get it again. You can't oranges that away. B, super low. Heroes with Xin in the Death Realm. Not actually the most ideal target. He can lock you up for a very long time, and his team can come in and maybe bail him out. Yes, they can. Fate's call. Vit will die for his support, but it's still gone wrong for BGA. 2 for 0. This has to be Baron for EVOS. They might have just cracked this game open like a walnut.
So can DivKid cycle through his weapons fast enough so he can get to Crescendum and burst the Baron down?
I don't know how much.
Even without Crescendum, they should be able to get this one.
They've got Severum.
Hope is in the vicinity, though.
Yeah.
Can Hope pick? Oh, yeah. Hope can, yeah. So they have vision, a lot of vision, actually.
They know exactly where
and there are some players still remaining. Django, no TP, no ultimate, so he has to walk there.
He's running.
Still no Crescendum.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh,
Hope is absolutely just caught like a spider in front of my deodorant and a lighter, burnt to a crisp. But it stopped the Baron. No one can get Baron. Baron is sitting here like, ooh, this is nice. Everyone likes me.
Yeah, they give him a lot of attention, but don't kill him.
Yeah.
Perfect situation for Baron. Some games, he just gets bursted down in 20 minutes. Some games, no one Baron. That's very sad for him as well. But this is where Baron wants to be. He lives a very dangerous life on the. So you see, Lantern is used to save PHT, but that leaves Django exposed, so very easy first kill. Hope is also not there. To be fair, it's Elise, so she even if she was there, probably not a whole lot would have happened in their favor. They pretty much just lost one of the big carries at the start of the fight, and Vid gets caught here as well. Xin, interestingly enough, survives all those, the whole onslaught for the enemy team.
Yep.
It's still only 1k gold lead for EVOS. 4 seconds to Dragon. Can VGA lock down this?
This is an intense game for sure.
Hope
is
in
a little
bit
bit
of trouble.
caught out, but Repel is a good spell. B now getting hopped on, but Sword's going to turn it around. Can he get the chomp? No. Django will make sure not. B now trapped in the pit. They'll clean him up in just a moment. On the backside, PHT's gone into the Death Realm with Parquet. Divkid is carrying this fight. And that is Aphelios doing a Latios, and the Infernal Drake will go over to EVOS.
Oh man, it looked so dire for VGA. Zorn at the start of the fight, doing Aphelios things. A lot of burst with the flamethrower. It's very hard to fight against flamethrower if he's a lot of AoE damage. 3 items built up for Divkid already, so he's once again looking at late game Aphelios damage. And there we go. 22 kills to 22 kills, 44 kills in 34 minutes. VCS, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Sole point for both teams. Next dragon. Next dragon is where it's at.
This is an intense game. There is a lot of late game scaling on both sides. Divkid needs to carry. Once again, we see an Aphelios with everything needing to go. Whew.
And can we see the IE Rek'Sai?
I hope not.
I actually think IE Rek'Sai kind of situation are just looking for a little bit of burst from your jungler is not the worst build. You can actually, if you, especially with Hail of Blades on the late game, it's 110% attack speed. You are super fast on the attacks. If you get 1 lucky crit or even 2, because you're super lucky, the enemy the bot laner or mid laner is just going to die. So yeah, it's not likely. He's probably he went for the GA, of course, but last item IE would be a little bit of a spicy one. Not the worst choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just dealing with something.
So, another fight erupting here. Hope getting caught.
This is so much damage straight onto Hope. Good Infernum ult. B is so tanky with that stone plate. Here comes Hero. Hope is squished like a bug. Vit in the Death Realm. This is just not the choice, I think, for Hero. He comes out and dies. Divkid carries the fight, though. He's already got a double, doing so much damage. No, quite. Can't quite hit the spot snipe. Now it's a 3v2. Base is open.
Django.
Ooh, they're going to get up at the same time. Can we get the crits? No. It's completely misread what was happening on the screen. I thought that was Django in a Guardian
Angel. Django with a big hero play to get 2 Guardian Angels. So now next fight, Divkid, no flash, no heal, no Guardian Angel. That is the big opportunity for VJ to win the fight, but Baron might finally go down at 36 minutes. The Baron might, I don't think the Baron will actually do us. It's a nice stat boost for the next team fight, but this game is definitely evolving around team fights, so I don't think the Baron will change anything about that. And 36 minutes, the first Baron of the game goes down. He finally overstayed his welcome on the Rift, but 36 minutes is a very long lifespan for that big purple worm.
Absolutely. Very, very happy. What else? VGA now. They had a good lead, but now Aphelios, he's got them all the way back into the game. How can they stop this? How do they kill Divkid?
He doesn't have any defensive tools, so now is the time to dive. PhD doesn't really have the damage to kill him alone, but if Hope and PhD get into the backline, maybe to get the kill on Divkid. No flash, no GA. Now is the time to strike. Also, Django with his big barrel chains can definitely hurt Divkid a lot. The last barrel chain did like 1k damage because he critted, so it's so tense. So tense, and this game means so much for both teams. It's a super close affair. So finally, we have a game that is not a stomp for either team. What a perfect way to close up the day. And I really now I think EVOS is in an advantage, not only because of Gold and Baron, but also because of the teamfight setup. But there we go.
Yeah, that is a catch there onto TH. Can they try and force a 4v5? I don't think so. There's just nothing on the map at the moment. But Mordekaiser will be dead. Divkid is caught. This is absolutely massive. He doesn't have a cleanse. He's dead. This is horrible. Baron's going to spawn while Divkid and Hero are dead.
Dragon, yeah. And that is Dragon Soul for VGA. So they big blunder for EVOS's lane setup. Divkid, it looks very bad for Divkid, but this is not only Divkid's fault, of course. The whole team needs to be aware of where they're carrying and how to protect him. He was just alone on the mid lane. I'm not sure what their thinking was. But now this is just a very free dragon. Enemy team knows there's no way they can contest this one. So now Infernal Soul, 4 Infernal Drakes, 16% extra AD and AP. That is very scary, especially for GP.
I think I've aged about 15 years watching this game. My heart, I don't think, is ever going to recover, or my throat. It's a bit scary.
Don't you think the Infernal Drake symbol is the prettiest one of all the dragons?
Yeah, it looks really nice.
I think 4 Infernals looks very cool. That is some rune, like old runes going on there. So does Infernal Soul change anything about the team fight? It's a little bit more burst damage. It's a little easier to kill Divkid, but in the end, it's still all about, can they kill Divkid? If not, they will lose. If they can kill Divkid, they will probably win. So.
Yep. What it's coming down to, I like PHT stealing the Nautilus ult. Just want to use that on Divkid. It's all about Aphelios. I'm on the edge of my seat. Can VGA, with this new lineup, go 2-0? It would be a very, very good sign that they could recover and perhaps avoid relegation. It would be exciting.
Yeah, perhaps even make a push for playoffs, a late push. If they continue this win streak.
Absolutely, there's a hook. They don't follow it in. They'll sacrifice the in-hib. It doesn't actually mean a huge amount at this point.
Nope. Really
means
doesn't
almost
mean
nothing.
Anything. Maybe a little bit of positioning advantage for EVOS when they fight around Elder Dragon that will spawn in 4 minutes. What a game. 7 dragons, and we might even get to the Elder Dragon to decide this one. One of the longest games of the season already. 40 minutes is something we almost never see in the VCS. We had one 50-minute game. Can we get there again?
Possible.
Looking at the team comps, I don't think we've survived the Elder Dragon. I think whichever team gets to the Elder Dragon wins this game immediately afterwards. Which is of course also what Elder Dragon is there for.
I think
right?
that's Elder Dragon generally. Django is a ridiculously late game scaled pirate.
Only 50% crit though.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised by that.
He wants to be a bit tankier.
Very defensive build.
I think the read for them is that PHT needs to pop off, but I don't think it's as much one person matters for VGA. It's much more the team. While on the side of EVOS, it really is the Divkid show.
Yeah, it is. So I actually think it would be better for Gangplank to swap his items to full crit and go for the 100% crit. So if you get 100% crit with 4 Infernal Drakes and Infernal, if you ever get 1 barrel chain on Divkid, he's dead. He's just straight up dead. You die to that. And I think that's valuable enough that you can forgo kind of tank stats. He probably doesn't have the money right now. Straight up swap, but especially if his GA gets popped, I would really like to see Django buy another IE. Maybe you could even go for an attack speed item just to accelerate your crit scaling. 3 IEs would of course be the best.
That would be
always the funniest itemization.
That would be very, very funny. This is a ridiculously close
Could
game.
sell us boots as well.
I think
that's probably the first call.
Can EVOS still 5v5 into the Infernal Soul? Or do they need to look for asymmetrical team fights? I don't think they can. Where are you going to get an asymmetrical team fight? VGA is never going to split up.
Yeah, it's all about the setup around the 2 big objectives. I think whoever gets the better setup, vision-wise. Right now, no one has any kind of vision around Elder Dragon, so it's pretty much they handshaked on just ARAMing right now. It's the VN ARAM. It's not quite as nice
VRAM
to pronounce, but VRAM,
that's
the
a computer
VRAM.
part too. There's a hook onto the Syndra. There's a hook. Oh my god, so much damage out of the Infernum. This is a really good start here for EVOS. Can they keep it going?
Hopping.
But Vit has the hops. DivKid is completely safe. That is not a good recipe here. And this is looking really bad for VGA. This may well be the end of them.
What's going on?
Oh, no one has gone down. PHT finally falls. And this is VGA getting sent to the dumpster. And EVOS will get the 2-1 in a ridiculously close series. Oh my word!
In the end, DivKid goes down later, still able to clean up the fight. PH stays alive, Son stays alive. They have a lot of push still here, so easy finish. Of course, 5 members dead on VGA side, and we end the day with an absolutely incredible nail biter of a game that goes in EVOS' favor. Very important for their playoff push. And pretty much confirms VGA as one of the 2 teams that will go down to relegation. But right now, all the relegation teams are really not happy about VGA entering the fray there.
I mean, I don't know if I want to cut to our cameras. I must look like a 65-year-old man that's just gone for a 10-mile run after that game. That ran me ragged. That was so close. Wasn't the longest we've had, but it was definitely the tensest. And in the end, DivKid played a fight insanely well. And
I think VGA missed the initial engage a little.
I do think they stuffed
Django.
Engage.
Yeah, they were a little too deep. Django and PhD didn't have. I think I really didn't like PhD's build. Too much utility. I think he should have gone for more AP. The Rabadons is actually now a very good item on this champion, especially with 4 Infernal Drakes. He would have gone to 800, 850 AP. And that's then super scary because your chain, especially the second part of the chain, slap, whatever it's called, slash, I guess, is has an 0.8 AP scaling. So if you ever hit that sweet spot on the Aphelios, that will chunk him to like 200 HP. And even if you sever him, that's almost certainly his GA. So yeah, I think PhD didn't really find the way to play an effective Silas in the late game. He got popped almost every fight, and in the end, that spelled the victory, even though Django was super strong, and even Callista dealt a lot of in the last fight.
Absolutely. Very exciting game. Now, is the MVP just DivKid because he decided the game? He was the most important player at the end. But there were a lot of good players on EVOS that game.
Both sides. Yeah. I think if VGA, Zin would have been in serious contention. Absolutely incredible support game. Big shout out to Zin overall for the series. I think he's outstanding in the support position, even more than he was on the ADC, with a very solid play and could play all the champs. But in support, he's so on point with all the grabs. It's such a hard call to make. I think if you go by just in the word sense of most valuable player, it has to be DivKid.
Yeah. I think I'm leaning towards him.
Feels a little bad.
It does. I would love to give 5 MVPs out.
I think Thorn also played a very, very...
Yeah. I mean, actually, Thorn was incredibly relevant, even at 4 items on Rek'Sai.
And that's super surprising. His early game was incredible. It's between the 2. We gave the first one. Yeah, I think we can give Thorn the second MVP for their game. Not only looking at this game, but also at the... And it was between DivKid and Thorn. Now, once again, was between DivKid and Thorn. So I think it's fair to give it over to Thorn this time around. It's much more of a serious MVP, but it's our stream. We can do whatever we want.
We make the rules.
We don't need to look at the game and ignore all the other games. I think it's take into account how good Thorn looked in all of the games.
I agree.
Another shout out to B. I think B once again played a good game as well. A little bit overshadowed by Zin's performance, but B is also a very good support player. He was on my dream team. So.
Yep.
There we go.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on what was an incredible night of VCS action. We had 2 super fun series. Can the rest of this week live up to it with Gum vs. Flash kicking us off tomorrow? I think it can.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready for that. You thought this was a fun series? Get ready for the clash of the Titans. Will Garm remain the kings of Vietnam, or will Flash take first place from them? Because that is what is on the line. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Look down below the stream. There's lots of ways you can interact with the community or maybe help feed one of the casters. We'd always appreciate it, but never feel pressured. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for being here. See you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, sleep well, enjoy LEC, and come back to. That is going to be probably the best series of the whole week. I don't care for LEC matchups. I don't care about LCS at all. This is Flash against Gum. You need to watch.
Absolutely. We will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being here.